The President of the Republic has signed a letter requesting the office of the Speaker to summon a sitting of the National Assembly to consider important and urgent matters of state. Thus, the reason for summoning this extraordinary session for the period 1st to 2nd November 2023. Similarly, honorable members, the President has issued a certificate of urgency under Section 101 of the 1997 Constitution for the following bills to be considered by the Assembly as important matters of state. They are: 1. The Victims' Reparations Bill 2023, 2. The Ban from Public Office TRRC Bill 2023, 3. The Commission of Inquiry Amendment Bill 2023, and 4. The Former President's Bill 2023. On that note, honorable members, let me once again welcome you to the sitting of this first extraordinary session of the National Assembly in the 2023 legislative year, and also the Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice. Honorable members, let me also, on your behalf, welcome the Speaker and members of the National Youth Parliament to this Assembly and thank them for successfully convening their first ordinary session of the 9th Youth Assembly in the 2023 legislative year in this very chamber. We want to thank the Youth Assembly for considering critical and important matters affecting the youth and development of this great country. In light of this, we will also want to encourage them to keep up the momentum and do better in their service to the youth of this country. Accordingly, honorable members, at the appropriate time, I will cause a vote to be taken without debate on the certificate of urgency for each of the aforesaid bills to be introduced as certified by the President in accordance with both Section 101 of the Constitution and Order 77-2 of the Standing Orders. Honorable members, a copy of the certificate has been circulated to you all for your information. I thank you. Clerk, can we proceed?
Correction and approval of the records of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Thursday, 21st September 2023.
Honorable members, the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Thursday, 24th September 2023 is before us for correction and approval. Can any honorable member please move that the said record of votes and proceedings be considered and approved? Honorable Member for Nyani. Mike. Can you use another mic?
Yes. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to move a motion for the correction and approval of record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Thursday, 24th September 2023.
Please second, honorable members. Honorable Member for Basse.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to move to second the motion.
Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Thursday, 24th September 2023 be considered and approved. Honorable members may make any observations or comments as we proceed. As usual, we will look at the record of votes and proceedings page by page, beginning with page 1. No comments? Honorable members, we can move to page 2. All right. Honorable members, we now move to page 3. Honorable members, we now move to page 4. Honorable member for Lower Nyumi.
Honorable Speaker, let me take you back to page 3. Number 2, Honorable Alaji Babu Sise, member for Sabah Sanja.
Honorable member, you were taking us back to page
3, please. Honorable Alaji Babu Sise, member for Sabah Sanja.
No, be specific. Page 3 where?
Page 3, number 2, second paragraph. Second paragraph, number 2. Okay, it's the first paragraph.
Okay.
Number 2. Yes. Honorable Alaji Babu Sise, member for Sabah Sanjal. The Sabah is S-A-B-A-H, not S-A-B-C-H. How about the C?
I don't know. I think
Yeah.
Sabah, where is member for Sabah?
Yes.
How do you spell your name of
Yes,
your constituency?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. According to the copy that I am given, the spelling is correct. So I don't know. Maybe he's using another.
Is the spelling on your copy?
S-A-B-A-C-H.
So that is correct.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
Probably he's using another copy.
No, that's what he is saying. He has the same, but he believes the C should not be there. It should be S-A-B-A-H. Honorable members, we now move to page 5. Honorable members, page 6. Honorable members, what we will do now is, as we move past a page, I'm coming, please. If we move past a page, and you are behind and you observe something, wait until we end, and then you take us back there. Yes, page 5, somebody said page 5. Woolley.
Yes, thank you. Page 5, on the motion without notice, Roman figure 3, first line, where it mentions Honorable Yaya Sanyang. Despite all his things, put his constituency tag there as well. Latrikunda Sabiji. Despite all his things.
Right? I'm not hearing him. I'm not hearing.
I'm saying put Latrikunda Sabiji. Latrikunda Sabiji for Honorable Yaya Sanya. Member for Latrikunda Sabiji is missing.
Yes, and what did you say after that, please?
Honorable. 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 Please. No. You are saying that the constituency name should follow his name.
Follow member for Latrikunda Sabiji is missing. You should attack that to it, not just use his name.
This is what I'm saying, Honorable. I think you are saying, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Yaya Sanyang, member for Latrikunda Sabiji. Yeah. Noted. Huh? What? Yeah, noted.
I mean, Roman figure 1 and 2 is the same. Roman figure 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Roman figure 1 and 2.
Honorable member for.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. This is just a small one. For consistency purpose, we've been using at the invitation of the Honorable Speaker in page 5, Roman figure 4. At the invitation of Honorable Speaker is written instead of at the invitation of the Honorable Speaker. So the article D is missing. Thank you. And wherever it appears, because I can see it also in page 4.
Honorable members, have you seen the place? Roman 4 on page 5. He is suggesting that D should precede Honorable Speaker. Comments? And according to him, for consistency's purpose, meaning that's what we have been using before. Okay?
Sorry,
no objections.
sorry, Honorable Speaker, sorry. On the same page 5,
no,
Roman 2.
Sorry, you wait until I call your attention, and then we are dealing with one. We have to resolve that before we move again. That's why I put it to honorable member. These are your minutes. If there are suggestions, I will have to listen to comments on it, and then if we agree, then we amend it. So take note, definite article. Yes, who was speaking? Honorable member for Serekunda.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Page 5, Roman 2. At the invitation of the Speaker, Honorable Musa Cham moved a motion to extend the committee stage of the criminal procedure bill. This could probably be an error. I believe it was Musa Baji who moved this motion.
Okay, he's the one speaking. So it's not you. Is Honorable Musa Baji here?
No, it's not.
Honorable Speaker, it's not me either.
Honorable Madi, can you remember you moving that motion? Honorable Madi? Madi Sise. They are saying that it's instead of Musa Kiam, it's Honorable Madi Sise.
Well, yes.
Okay. Okay. on page 5. Honorable Member for Upper Fuladu West.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, if you look at page 5, Roman figure 1 and 2, the same thing applies to Honorable Abdullah Sise and Honorable Mahdi Sise. Their consequence names should also follow suit after their names.
We now move to page 6. Honorable Member for Banjul North.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Page 6, the first paragraph, the last line, that reads Honorable Abdullah Njai, member for Banjul South. It's not member for Banjul South, member for Banjul Central.
Is the comment? Yeah, but when he said it should be Banjul Central, there were comments. Okay, but they are not commenting against it. It should be Banjul Central. Okay. Honorable Member for Sabak Sanjal.
Thank you very much. A similar one, just right before, okay, immediately after you have question put and agreed to, the second line, it says the following honorable members participated in debate. The article D is missing again. It should read, the following honorable members participated in the debate.
To honorable member noted. Any more on page 6? Honorable Member for Upper Fuladu.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, on page 6, where you have questions put and agreed to, the Assembly agreed that agreed that 8 minutes be, is it allocated or allotted to each member on the adjournment debate?
I don't know.
Page 6, where you have question put and agreed to.
You know, they are the first one on top.
Yes, no, the second one, where you have question.
I mean, that's the first questions put and agreed to.
Yes.
The first one.
Yes.
Yes, you said what?
I said, is it that 8 minutes be, is it allocated or allotted to each member on the adjournment debate? Well, I need to confirm.
Yes, I think it is correct, Honorable. Page 7, Honorable Members. Honorable members, we now move to the last page, page 8. Honorable Member for Upper Fuladu.
Yes, page 8 or page 6 and 7. Honorable Suleiman Jame.
Member, are you finished with page 8? You have no comments on page 8.
No, I'm talking about page 7.
Honorable, I'm saying, do you have any comments on page 8?
No.
No comments, honorable members, on page 8? Yes, now you refer us to where you want to go. Honorable.
No, I am seeing Suleiman Jame's name appearing on 2 occasions.
So where?
On the participating. Yes, on the participating. Yes.
Honorable, make reference to the page.
Page 7.
Page 7?
Page 6.
Honorable, you cannot say 2 pages, either page 7 or page 6.
Yes.
One at a time.
Yes, page 7, number 18.
Page 7, number 18.
Yes.
Yes.
And then page 6.
What happened?
Number 4.
No.
His name. His name appeared twice. Honorable Suleiman Jame.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, his name appeared twice.
Yes.
Okay, we will remove the number 18.
Good. Thank you.
All right, honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Thursday, 21st September 2023 be approved with amendments. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. I thank you all very much. Clerk, may we proceed?
Bills. Victims Reparations Bill 2023 by the Honorable Attorney General and Minister for Justice.
Member for Banjul South, may we hear your point of order? For Banjul South? Pardon?
No, Mr. Speaker, I was a bit confused because I've not had the Assembly vote for this letter of urgency. That's what I wanted to bring to your attention.
Can you say it again, please? In my remarks, I said I will put these things before you. You have not started dealing with it. Honorable members, as indicated earlier, I will now put the question without debate for the acceptance or otherwise of the certificate of urgency on the said bill. Be resolved that this Assembly do accept the bill entitled Victims Reparations Bill 2023 be proceeded with under a certificate of urgency. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Division. Division Speaker, please.
Honorable members, there is no honorable members. Honorable members. Honorable members.
Honorable Speaker.
I am not taking anybody on the floor yet. Honorable members.
Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, please. We are governed by regulations. There is no need for shouting or otherwise. If I say the noes have it or the ayes have it, just talk about a split vote and we count. There is no what are you shouting for? As if you are not on top of the regulations yourself, the standing orders. Please, I said the ayes have it. Division. Now, take note. We will now take your votes. Now I will begin with those in favor for the bill entitled Victims Reparations Bill 2023 be proceeded with under the certificate of urgency. Raise your tax up, please. Those in favor. Honorable members, those not in favor, please raise your tax. Not in favor. Honorable members, those who abstained, raise your tax. Those who abstained, if there are any, raise your tag. Honorable members, the results. Those in favor, 31. Those not in favor, 14. Those who abstained, 0. The ayes have it. Honorable members, Order 77.3, which reads, a bill to which a certificate of urgency attaches may be proceeded with throughout all its stages, and the Assembly shall not be counted out or adjourned, except upon a motion made by the Vice President or a minister in charge of the bill, until such bill has been read the third time, meaning we begin to end. Thus, the said bill shall be proceeded with throughout all the stages in the Assembly. In other words, I am not in a position to accept any dilatory motion or referrals as dictated by Order 77.3 that once a business is accepted under a certificate of urgency, it shall not be counted out or adjourned until the business is completed. I will now invite the Honorable Attorney General and Minister for Justice, the person in charge of the bill, to hand over a copy of the said bill to the clerk for the first reading. Honorable Minister.
Victims Reparations Bill 2023.
Honorable members, in accordance with Order 65, the first reading of the Victims Reparation Bill 2023 is completed. Therefore, in accordance with Standing Orders 66 and 77, we will proceed to the second reading of the bill forthwith. Clerk, may we proceed?
Second reading, Victims Reparations Bill 2023 by the Honorable Attorney General and Minister for Justice.
Honorable members, pursuant to Standing Orders 67 and 77, I now invite the Honorable Attorney General and Minister for Justice to move a motion for the second reading of the bill entitled Victims Reparation Bill 2023. Therefore, it will be seconded and the Assembly will debate on the general merits and principles of the bill as per Standing Order 671. After the debate, we will resolve into a committee of the whole Assembly to give detailed consideration to the bill. On that note, I now invite the Honorable Attorney General and Minister for Justice to move the motion for the second reading.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I move that the bill entitled Victims Reparations Bill 2023 be read the second time. Honorable Speaker, the objects and reasons of this bill is as follows. The bill seeks to establish a reparations commission whose responsibility is to review reparations paid out by the TRRC and make necessary adjustments, receive and evaluate process and make a determination as to new victims not identified by the TRRC, create and maintain an up-to-date database of victims, and developed and publish guidelines and procedures for granting reparations to victims. The bill also seeks to establish Victims Fund, which shall consist of, among other sources, monies generated from some of the proceeds of sale of ex-President Jammeh's properties. The bill also seeks to create a points system that will be used by the commissioners to determine the preparation of payments or payables to the victims. On this note, Honorable Speaker, I so move.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Any seconder? Honorable Member for All Yundum constituency.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the motion. And of course, I also want to move a motion before we get into the debate. Honorable Speaker, I want to move that we allocate 5 minutes time for the debate of this particular bill.
You moving that?
Another motion for us to allocate 5 minutes for debate for each member.
Okay, for us to allocate 5 minutes, allocate to each member.
Observation.
Honorable members, honorable member for all you know, we are just trying to make reference to the standing orders. And if you look at standing order 61-2, it looks like it is possible, but it has to be done by a member of the Assembly Business Committee. Do you follow? Have you made reference to Standing Order 61-2? Pardon? Honorable, if you want to talk, just raise your tag. Let's stop murmuring.
Speaker.
Honorable member for Lower Salum.
Speaker, you are on track.
Yes, I am a member. Then I will move the motion then. Honorable Speaker, I rise to move a motion. Wait.
Honorable members, all what we want to get right is the standing orders allows only a member of the Assembly Business Committee. I was discussing with him, with the table office, and it looks like a committee does not regulate the Assembly. It's the Assembly that regulates committees. But so far that's the law, it means we have to go by it. And now I will invite the honorable member for Lower Salum.
Honorable Speaker, I rise to move a motion for a time limit, any member to contribute for 5 minutes. Yes.
It's moved that we limit the time
Yes. No, boy, 3 minutes. 5 minutes too.
Honorable members, we have already got a motion on the floor. And that motion has been moved and seconded. We must clear it out. Then you can come in. So, honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that the time allotted to debate on this particular bill be 5 minutes. Those in favor of that, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Honorable, we will allow the division, but you people never put up your voices. The voices determine whether the yes have it or the no's have it. So you are talking about division. Let's please clear. Okay. Now, those in favor of 5 minutes, tax up. Raise your tax. Are you ready? Honorable members. Honorable members. Honorable members, I will begin to call names. So it's recorded that those are the people shouting and making unnecessary noise. I will call names. Honorable members, those against the 5 minutes, please raise your tags. Honorable members, those that have abstained. Abstention? Honorable members, the results. Those in favor, 30. Those against, 6. Abstentions, 4. The ayes have it. Honorable members, in accordance with Standing Order 67-1, I will now open the floor for debate on the general merits and principles of the bill. And the time allotted is 5 minutes. Any honorable member who wishes to partake in the debate may raise his tag and may now do so. We begin with the member for Woolly East.
Thank you. Yes, thank you very much, Honorable.
Honorable member for Woolly East, you may proceed.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I believe this bill is of people who actually require remedies. Honorable Speaker, I believe many people have their rights violated at some point, and they have no way of seeking redress. And this is an opportunity for those people to now come to actually seek for redress. Many of us, as I said, were affected during the Second Republic. But we may not be interested in financial reward, but we may be interested in restitution. Again. So what guarantee can we have to ensure that this thing does not happen again? Honorable Speaker, we know states have obligation to actually provide reparation to victims under humanitarian law. So it is up for us to have this domestic law that would ensure that there is prohibition on the violations that may happen by state agents. And I believe what we require also, the agency or commission should continue training the security and judicial officers, because they are key people in actually ensuring that these violations do not continue to reoccur. Also, the reparation, Honorable Speaker, should be proportionate. The agencies should take due diligence to ensure that when somebody is, whose right is violated, the person actually gets the appropriate reparation. Some of them, like I said, will require money, but others want health. Others want satisfaction, etc. etc. And you know, during this period, whether we know it or not, there are people also who may have lost their citizenship. They may have lost their employment. I know people who have lost employment. They are coming here to complain. They are looking for ways and means of having remedy. And some of them, their properties were confiscated from them. How do we ensure that they get their reparations through that? Honorable Speaker, I believe the state guards during the period have also committed a lot of violations against motorists, against apprentices, against individuals using the highway. When they are following the president, they do so many things. Those are all victims, and they are waiting for remedy. And we should not forget them. On that note, I believe we should continue with this and make it pass to ensure that victims continue to seek for redress under this time.
East. I now invite the Honorable Member for Banjul South.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, first of all, I would like to say that I really support this bill, but not under the way it is presented to us. Came through tough elections, and we were elected by our people because we were trusted to come and defend and protect their rights in this country as citizens of the Gambia. Mr. Speaker, the reason that provision is given, it as a matter of urgency, has been abused, because I don't see this as a matter of urgency. It is clearly stated in the Constitution that before it comes as a matter of urgency, it should be of benefit to the community. Mr. Speaker, yes, it is of benefit to the community, but to what extent is it an emergency? As National Assembly members, we should look into the principles and make sure that it is taken through the right stage. It says here, under the objects and principles, that the bill seeks to establish a victims' fund, which should consist of, among other sources, monies generated from some of the proceeds of sales of ex-President Jammeh's properties. This National Assembly is yet to determine the entire proceedings from the sales of former President Jammeh's properties. And this is being rushed to us to pass so that more embezzlement will be done without the knowledge and without proper scrutiny. My take for this is to take it through the normal process, send it to relevant committees so that everything that should be done to ensure that the objects and reasons and the principles of these bills are adhered to, Mr. Speaker. And that is the only reason some of us conscious members in this assembly voted no. Not because we are against any reparations, but because we want the best for the victims. If we call for victims, Mr. Speaker, I am a victim. I lost the most beloved in my life, my father, under the rule of Jammeh. But I will not hold anybody accountable and put my hand on your throat for reparation. Mr. Speaker, as representatives of the people, we are given the authority to make laws. We shouldn't be held at ransom to pass laws under the letter of urgency at the disposal of His Excellency, the President. In as much as we want this reparation bill, due process must be given so that we give the victims the best that they deserve. They have lived under decades of suffering, and now they are being rushed for reparations without it being thoroughly looked at. Mr. Speaker, as we speak, we are still waiting for the full disclosure of the proceeds. How are we going to establish a fund and properly manage a fund if we are not given the whole picture? And that is the only reason why some of us voted no, not because we are against reparation for the victims. It's only because we want the best for the victims. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Banjul South. And I invite the Honorable Member for Kantora and Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. First of all, let me thank the executive through the President for deeming it apt and timely for tabling this very bill before this August House. Honorable Speaker, change of government happened in 2016. There has been a commission of inquiry to investigate heinous crimes against humanity during the Jammeh regime. 6-7 years down the line, we should ask ourselves, is it not time for the victims to be given compensation, for the victims to be compensated as a nation for us to heal and move on? It is time, and I thank the President of the country for putting it as a matter of urgency before next year's budget, to put adequate resources, to have support from partners to make sure that the victims are given the attention they deserve. It's been 7 years down the line, they are waiting. It is an opportunity for healing, it is an opportunity for country to forge ahead, it is an opportunity for us to reconcile as a nation. So I cannot agree more with the bill, and that is why I throw back my support to make sure that we rally behind the executive, put it as a matter of urgency, put every importance attached to it to make sure that the victims are compensated. Honorable Speaker, it's not only compensation, as the member of Wuli is said, it's learning to learn from the past. Never again should we go back to those crimes against humanity. And it's also important for any government, be this government or any other government, that the Gambians has decided never again shall we go back to those inhumane treatment. And that is why the government of the day deemed it fit to make sure that we now focus our direction. This is part of the reform agenda of government, putting legislation and laws to make sure that we depart as a country the crimes of the past, to open a chapter for democracy, respect of rule of law, and human rights. Honorable Speaker, if you look at the prayers in the bill, it says, looking at the object and reason, the TRRC makes necessary adjustment, receive evaluation processes, make determination as new victims not identified by TRRC. I believe as a country, there are so many victims that did not go to TRRC to identify themselves as victims. But this bill seeks to create an avenue for any who say that I'm a victim, but they can move and approach this very commission and seek redress or anti-compensation. It is not only, it's good that it's not only monetary driven, but scholarships. All the gains could be given to you depending on what you wish. So I am in full support with the prayers advance in the object of reason that it also gives other avenues. Not only people who went before the TRRC Commission are determined as victims. It's an opportunity for us to look at other sections of society based on those who did not want to go and present themselves before a commission. This bill seeks to look at. It's a bill called No One Should Be Left Behind, No Stone Should Be Left Untold. So therefore, we thank the government of the Gambia for understanding and also prescribing to the respect of international human rights and humanitarian laws of the world. So, Honorable Speaker, on that, having said that, I want to urge both sides of the Assembly to really join this crusade to say that it is too late. It is now time. Let's be part and parcel of this crusade, getting the requisite compensation for those people who have been affected, and it's time again. I thank you so much for indulgence.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Kantora and Majority Leader. I now call upon the Honorable Member for Olu Yundum and the Deputy Majority Leader.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I just wanted to reiterate what my Honorable Majority Leader said with regards to this bill. First of all, I also want to thank the government of the Gambia, under the leadership of the President, His Excellency, for deeming it fit to bring the Victims Commission Bill or Reparation Bill. I think it is timely. I remember in 2021, before elections, a lot of people said the President does not give attention to victims of this country. And that was elections period. Now that the President is giving attention, people are saying what is urgent about this bill. I think a lot of people outside who are still with the pain of the heinous, atrocities that had, that was meted on them during the between 1994 and 2017. These people need the attention of the government. They need the support of the people. And I think that's the reason why the Attorney General and the government themselves, the President, thought it wise to bring up a commission. The reparation bill is to set a commission, and this commission is going to look after those who will surrender themselves as victims for compensation. That is what the bill is talking about. We are going to set a commission. Those victims outside will go and surrender themselves. We all know victims, but we will not go and cut their hands to say, you have to go to the commission. They will surrender themselves. But as a National Assembly, our role is to establish that commission, to look after those people. We will appropriate funds for the commission to support the victims who are supposed to be compensated. That is what the bill is all about. But we cannot say what is urgent about the bill. It's urgent, of course. We all say it here. All these people are knocking our doors every day as members of parliament. And these are victims residing with us in our communities or in fact in our houses. They need support. The President thought it wise to bring up a bill to support these people. And I think it's timely for Gambia to move forward and stop talking about all these things that happened between 1990 and 2017 again. We need to move. The Honorable Majority Leader said it very clearly. We cannot sit here and start politicizing everything that we do as a country. We need to move. We have to move. This commission is objective, and I think establishing a commission in this country that is going to look after the victims is in fact more important than some of the commissions that we may have established in this country. So, in my own opinion, Honorable Speaker, and as a representative of my people, I am supporting this bill. Not because I want the President to have a commission or whatever. I think the President thought it wise to support the victims, and that is where I am. I am going to support this bill, Honorable Speaker. With that few remarks, I urge my colleagues to support the bill, and then move forward, and then at least give reparation to these victims who have suffered within that period. Honorable Speaker, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Olu Yundum and Deputy Majority Leader. I now call upon the Honorable Member for Lower Salon.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I also want to join my colleagues on this debate, and I also want to recognize the presence of the Deputy Speaker and Speaker of the Youth Parliament and the entire people sitting down the gallery there. And again, Honorable Speaker, I have to also recognize the presence of my independent researcher in these documents, as usual. Honorable Speaker, it's a long overdue. We need this belt for our people, because we are representing our people. Honorable Speaker, the executive has a role to play, and we, the parliamentarians, also have a role to play. If they see it's a matter of concern that most members alluded, I think it's a cause of concern to help our victims down there. We are living with them. We know the pain that they are suffering. Because when you find a breadwinner of a family, as ever been seen, Honorable Speaker, is a cause of concern. And I must thank the government of the day for these brilliant decisions. Now it's left with parliamentarians to do their right thing. But Honorable Speaker, furthermore, I have an issue that I need to put to the minister. I know the minister, the president has the right to establish a commission. That's section 200 of the constitution. That gives him the mandate to do so. But we want to know what will the time bound of the commissions of the 5, because we can see that at any moment the president can make an adjustment of the term of this commission. And Honorable Speaker, I want to know the monies that will be because of these reparations. How much? Whether the minister is in a position to tell us. The database of these victims, whether it's all put in place, whereby what happens in past will not happen in this, because we want to make it to be successful missions. Honorable Speaker, the donations of and grants of these commissions, already we know that there will be monies that will be appropriated by the Parliament, but the monies that will become as donations and grants, how can they account for? Whether all those grants will come to Parliament through Parliament for vetting, I don't know. I want to know whether all those grants will come and donations to the Parliament. Honorable Speaker, if you check, there are issues, because already double compensations of this act, it has stipulated there. Again, we knew the Secretary General of the United Democratic Party have passed a ruling at the ECOWAS court, whereby if you are compensated in a judiciary form, you will not be compensated again. I don't think that one should be, because already we knew there are people, a political animal who were tortured, and they were compensated by the ECOWAS that asked the government to compensate them. So it seems like they are excluded in this form of compensation. I don't think there is a justice in that one. Honorable Speaker, I think we are doing it for the betterment of our country. Let's put everybody in board, whereby we will not exclude anybody. There are people who doesn't go for the to testify, and they are victims, and it needs to be considered. Honorable Speaker, for that, let me stop here because the time is not limited.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Lower Salum. I now invite the Honorable Member for Nyanija.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. And first of all, I want to thank the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, of course, through the President, for summoning this session. Honorable members, I think we just forget so soon. If you look at the standing orders, the provision of the standing orders, they are very clear that when no bill can be passed with all its stages, from stage 1 to the last stage, in less than 9 days. So you want to tell me that this bill should come through normal session and you expect for the government to start implementing this victim reparation fund next year? It's not possible. That is not possible. Let us call a spade a spade. If we are definitely very serious and definitely very concerned about the victims, there is nothing stopping us to bring this under extraordinary session. We pass this. We start from stage 1 to the last stage. If you want to scrutinize anything, we scrutinize this. So I think those saying this should come on a normal session, I think it's definitely a non-starter. Honorable Speaker, coming to my submission, this bill has definitely highlighted in the objects and reasons. It is summoned under Section 101 of the Constitution, and we all know what it states. This is a matter of public importance because many a times we will all go through the media and we'll be saying victims are crying for what has the government done for them, what is the government about to do for them, where is the victim bills. And personally, I have attended trainings and then I have attended even briefings, media briefings and the like, whereas the victim will be saying, we need the victims bill, we need the victim bills. So now the bill is here. Why did it delay? Let us give them what is due for them. Because the TRRC was here, and as the submission made by the Minister of Justice and even in the objects and reason, we know the TRRC, not everybody went there and testified. There are other victims who we know that they don't want to surface. So it is the responsibility of government and through this parliament for us to enact a legislation to give powers to a commission who will identify all these victims, and they'll be responsible of administering these funds. The Ministry of Justice have tried, but they cannot administer this fund. Because we know, we all understand the administration of funds. We have the Public Finance Act here, we have the Constitution and so on. So definitely we have to be very, very observant and very financial obligation with regards to administration of funds. Not every Tom, Dick and Harry you can give this one and you administer. We have to establish a body to make sure qualified personnel are there, well appointed with the right people, and they administer these funds. So, Honorable Speaker, as I said, the government of the Gambia, as the Minister of Justice said, they want to commence the administration of this fund in the next fiscal year, starting January 2024. And then I think it is a move that all the members of Parliament should support. As I said earlier, coming for an extraordinary session, and then with being cognizant of the fact Section 101 of the Constitution gives President the power to summon a sitting of the National Assembly, thereby allowing us the opportunity to treat important matters of the state as an urgency. And then I think I just again want to thank the government for coming up with this. As I said again, the victims have been crying and they will continue to cry unless and until those responsible, and I believe we are part of those responsible, give them what is due for them. So, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Members, I implore on all of us, especially those whom we know that they don't want this to be under certificate of urgency, those who voted against it. I want to implore on all of you so that we can consider this. Whatever that you don't want there, whatever that we want to adjust, we have the opportunity to do it.
The pain of the victims in the form of financial compensation. That's a very good thing. This is what we've been waiting for. But what we are saying, Honorable Speaker, why attaching the certificate of urgency to the bill when our next session is just 1 week, few days away from today?
This is the question that I am asking. Honorable Speaker, when the bill, in my view, should be referred to the relevant committee, and that will, of course, give us more time to familiarize ourselves with the bill. Honorable Speaker, by referring this bill to the relevant committee, we'll also have time to liaise with those who were affected, that is the victims, so that we can, of course, know which form of financial compensation they would love to have. Honorable Speaker, some of these previous speakers did mention that this bill should be given an urgent consideration. There is nobody in this parliament today who would want to say this bill should not be given an urgent consideration. We all believe that the bill is here to redress the pain that was inflicted on the victims of this country. But what we are saying, like I said before, the timing of the bill is what we are complaining of. We should have, all that we are saying is the bill should have been, of course, referred to the relevant committee so that we can do justice to the bill, so that the victims can be compensated what they should be compensated for. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Member for Lower Badibu. I now invite the Honorable Member for Serekunda West.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I want to be on record that I am not against the bill. What I am against is the urgency that is attached to it. We know victims have suffered and they continue to suffer. Even in these chambers, we have victims. I am a direct victim, and so many other people. So we are very much in support of the bill, but we want justice to be done to the bill. If this bill had come on the normal way, there will be a chance to have more interface with the public, more interface with larger community than the victims themselves. Because some are direct victims, some are indirect victims. In the case where you lost your son, you are an indirect victim. The mother is likewise, the siblings. So if it has gone through the normal way, there will be opportunity where the bill, we could have done justice to the bill rather than just roasting it now. And the question is, how urgent is this bill? Since 2017, when the TRRC was settled, we knew that this reparation should be done. For 7 good years. So is it now that government is considering to be urgent? That's my issue. This could have come much earlier. Much earlier. Nobody in these chambers will go against this bill, and I am not against this bill. My only issue is to force it down our throats to get it done within few hours. Then we will not be doing justice to the bill. That's my only issue with it. Otherwise, I have no issue with the bill, and I fully support the bill. If you look at the objects and the reasons, they're very reasonable. The bill seeks to establish reparation commission whose responsibility is to review reparation payout by the TRRC and make necessary adjustments here and there. It's excellent. No issues with it. The bill had a good objection. It has a good reasons, and everything behind it is okay. But the fact of the matter is, this has been sitting in government for 7 good years. Now that government is telling me that they are serious about the reparations. That's why they are bringing this bill under certificate of urgency. That's why I disagree. But otherwise, I support the bill. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Serekunda West. I now invite the Honorable Member for Sami.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honorable Speaker, the bill before us, Victim Reparation Bill 2023. Honorable Speaker, as various speakers
have rightly mentioned, there is nobody in this House who is against this bill, Honorable Speaker. There is nobody. I totally support it. I support it. But why urgency on this? This is why we are emphasizing. The people who are affected, you are making a law. You don't want to involve those people. This is why we said we want it to pass due process. Those who are affected, let us involve them. Let us have their input so that we will not make laws tomorrow that we will be accused of. Because when we make, this is a trust, Honorable Speaker. And we all know there are victims who did not go to the TRRC. Who did not go to the TRRC. And they are victims. And the bill is saying that they are going to involve them in the reparation. That's what they said. And in making it, you don't involve them. Honorable Speaker, something that affects me, you should involve me, Honorable Speaker. But you don't involve me. You are telling me that you, at the end you're going to have it. Honorable Speaker, I am totally in support of it. But the urgency, that's why I said I am not in support of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Same. I now invite the Honorable Member for Fonyi Bondali. Huh? He's out. He's out. The Honorable Member for Fonyi Jarol. Fonyi Jarol, is he around?
Yes, I'm around. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And I thank the Minister of Justice for bringing this bill. And then most of the speakers already alluded that this is a bill that we can't reject. We only have concerns over the bill. And because when we say victims, we must look at the definition of what a victim is or who a victim is. It's a person who is injured. It's a person who is killed. In short, we are talking about casualties. We must try to know really who these victims are. Some have already said here, never again. Forget about the word never again, because it's going to happen. Aruna Jatta was shot down and killed. So there's no way we're going to say never again. What is happening in Fonyi at the borders, this has not been happening during the First Republic and Second Republic. And it's now happening. The illegal checkpoint at Buyam is causing a lot of casualty there. Business has been destroyed. So there's no way you people are going to tell us never again. Forget about it, never again. The welfare of the victims, we need to come together to look into their well-being. That one I have no problem with it. So what we need to do here is to make sure... Who is the point of order? So what we need to make sure is to make sure that the bill will be passed. But we have to screen out who this victim is. I cannot pick up a gun today to go to State House, and I don't become a victim. Who is really a victim? We have to look at it, and we cannot be selective. Other victims were left out. We are all working the TRRC. When others were not called, when the TRRC is not interested in knowing some of the other victims, how they became victims. So all what we are interested was victims that we call they are victims of the ex-president. This is where our disagreements are. Because today, I can be a victim. So there's no way I'm going to stand against this bill, because tomorrow, I might also need the support of this bill. So why am I going to throw it out? But the problem here, it was a selective one. Who's supposed to be the victim and who's supposed not to be a victim? This is where we are standing against the bill. But we need to take this back to the committees to look at it so that we screen the real victims who definitely are real victims, that we are not going to say no in whatever we want to do for them. That's what is important here, but it's not about throwing out this bill. But the bill became a selective. That's why most of these commissions, and then when we say that we are going to use
the funds generated from the sales of ex-president's properties. How was this property sold? We are not even gazetted. We don't even know the total amount of money generated from the sales of this asset. So if you are saying that you are going to use this money to maybe just compensate the victims, how much? What is the total amount? Because the ex-Minister of Justice has said it on camera, on record, that is going to make the ex-president penniless. Sales of this asset started even before the commission started. It was not even properly done. We have nothing against implementing this bill, and we have nothing against to reject this bill. But what we argue here is the way people are treated. You are a victim, but the other one is not a victim. A victim better than other victim. Animal Farm. I rest my case.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Fonyi Jarol. I now invite the Honorable Member for Brikama South.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. First, the business before us is about the Victim Reparation Bill. Interestingly, if you look at the object and the reason, is very clear. And I think there will be nobody in this assembly who will be in rejection of this. One thing I want us to understand, this is a process that is very, very important here. Honorable Speaker, it is the right of the executive, particularly the president, to table.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
To table any bill.
Point of order.
Is into a point of order?
Yes.
Sabak Sanyal.
Yes, I'm rising on point of order 17F. While a member is speaking. The Honorable Member for Banjul South cannot be disturbed. Get out of here. I withdraw. Honorable Speaker, I withdraw. He's gone. She's gone. She's gone. 17? No, she's gone. 17 what? 17F. While a member is speaking, all other members shall be silent and shall not make unseemly interruption. The Honorable Member for Banjul South left her seat and came here disturbing us. We don't want it. When I raised the point of order, that was the time she left. You are not here to rule.
Honorable members, sometimes you tend to force the speaker to certain levels. We know what we should do. We all know it. If members have a right to move and go out, talk and do whatever and come back. Those who want to listen and participate, don't disturb them. That's very clear. So let's please refrain from doing those things. Let's give those who want to do business to do business. Honorable Member for Brikama South, can you continue, please?
Yes, thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. As I said in my previous intervention, the bill is a progressive one, and everybody likes this thing to come. The executive and the president have right to bring in any bill under certificate of urgency. But who actually determines is the National Assembly. If you look at this bill, we were anticipating this thing. It's long overdue. But if it took the executive to have a common position on this for almost 6 to 5 years, and why should we allow to be limited within 2-3 hours to deal with this? This is something that we need to know. There's one thing that is very fundamental. The only institution that have that legislative mandate is the National Assembly. It's very, very important. Yes, some people can bring in a piece of legislation to us, but the final approval has to be given to BIA. It should come from us. So I want us to understand this thing. The bill is very, very good, but are we at par in terms of understanding? I know there were training. Some of us were not fortunate to attend those training. But we believe that this should come through a normal bill procedures. It has to take all the stages. It's important for this thing to be committed to a portfolio committee to identify various stakeholders, where they will take them through the bill and look at the progressive nature so that they can come and advise the plenary what to do. So this is something that is very, very important. And one thing we need to be careful as a National Assembly, we have a core mandate. Our authority is driven from our electorate. They are all watching. We should refrain from promulgating laws that are not enforceable. There are laws that are there, only gathering dust. You cannot enforce them. So we need to talk to our people to understand actually what is entailed in this, so that every individual can know that they are catered for before we pen this thing. So that is something that we are saying. We are not saying we don't want this thing. There is nobody in this parliament who will reject this thing. It's important. A lot of things has happened. If it took executive from 6 to 5 good years to have a common position on this, how can we allow ourselves to be given only 2-3 hours? So this is something that we...
I don't know whether the member for Latrikunda wants to come to my seat. I'm not sure. I thought it has started. In fact, when you were talking, I was just trying to confirm whether when it stopped, because when you stop, usually it starts again. It does not continue. So I am now finding out whether for you it has continued from where you stopped or after all these things. That's what I'm trying to find out. Honorable Member for Brikama South, the timing staff are saying wherever you stop, it stops. When there are interventions, when you come again, it takes off from there. So your time was finished. Yes. I'll just give you 30 seconds for the obstruction. Wrap up if you want to. Okay. Thank you very much. I now invite the Honorable Member for Lower Fladu West.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to partake. It's unfortunate that drama is happening in this House. How can you not acknowledge the urgency of this bill and still want to tell people that the bill is progressive, is good, when the National Assembly have been engaged extensively the frustration of the victim of this country? You sit down in these chambers and telling people that this is not of an urgency. But what kind of representative is this? The National Human Rights Commissions have come into this assembly with the victims. We all know what happened. There is no time.
Yeah, what is the point of order? So, please.
He said, what type of representation is that?
No.
You are imputing
Honorable Member. Honorable Member, quote the standing order.
Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Member. Pardon? Standing order. I'm sorry, Oluyundum, Latrikunda, Sabiji. Honorable, please, be a little bit tolerant. You cannot make a point of order when you have not done your homework. Because you know that you are going to make a point of order, you should have looked at the reference order that you want to put up, and then you come out to make a point of order. But when you cannot go back to make reference to the order, you're looking for it, you don't know. You say one and other. That's not fair enough. Because it's taking all our time. Please, Honorable Member, can you continue?
Thank you very much. I think I have to go back. The President have feel it deep necessary, and the country is accepting it. This is deep necessary to come up with this bill on a matter of urgency. The frustration that have been emanating from our victims, this is showing them that the executive of the day is concerned to an extent that they are taking their matter very urgently, and that is the spirit that this bill is coming. So it was very sad to say, I'm not accepting the urgency, but I accept this bill. Who are you fooling? The victims are watching. The Gambians are watching. This is more than timely, and it comes at the right time, and we are going to deal with it. Remember.
Point of order.
Yes, Member for Burles.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I'm rising on a point of order 29.1, 29.4, and 5. 29.1. Every member shall restrict his or her observation to the subject matter under discussion. Where the honorable member is imputing motives to other people instead of restricting on the motion. Talk about the topic. Don't go.
Honorable member for
24. It shall be out of order to use offensive. He's saying people are fooling other people. No one is here to fool anyone. That's what he said.
Honorable member, you don't argue. You just put your point of order, and both points of orders are out of order. Honorable member, can you continue?
So I'm in the spirit that the executive have done it right, and at the assembly it's our duty to also do it right. That is considered in this bill. And this bill, inside its merit, it talks about people that could not come out live on the TRRC. This bill is giving them opportunity to come out. This is dynamic. And as a result, we should take this as a matter of urgency because it's urgent. Our victims there, they are listening and they're watching. And they know that now the country, the executive, the National Assembly member are concerned about their fate, and we want to see that they are repatriated to the best of the ability of the state. And then the bill also seeks to establish a victim fund. We are coming to the budget session. How can you approve a budget and approve a bill? That bill is expected to be budgeted. This is how rational the Attorney General and the executive of they think. They think ahead of time, and we are acknowledging that. So we want this one to be dealt with so that when it comes to the budget, we can allocate enough funds to make sure that our victims are given their due. So on that note, I urge all of my colleagues to stay away saying that why now? This was more than necessitated. And when it comes now is the time that it should come and we should take it. The victims are watching. If you are telling the urgency now, what do you have for them? This bill have come to address their issue. So on that note, I urge my colleagues to vote for it, regret not voting for it as a matter of urgency because the populations are coming. On that note, please, I beg that we all support the bill. Thank you.
And when you are talking, you don't want any interruption. When others talk, you interrupt. Let's avoid it. Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Lower Fladu West. I now invite the Honorable Member for Fonyi Berefet.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I would like to thank the Honorable Minister of Justice for bringing this bill, Victims Reparation Bill. Honestly to God, this bill came at the right time. And as Honorable Member, I always speak my mind. We have spoken, we have sworn to the Holy Quran here to serve the Gambians. And a victim is really a victim. We will not even know what is in their mind. We will not know what they face. We don't really know what they suffer. And I always see Gambia as a country of one family. We are one brothers, we are one parents, a country of one family. One brother is trouble, it's like one nephew is trouble. We don't actually know what they face. If they demand a reparation, I being a honorable member, I think the victims need to be reparated. They're supposed to get whatever they demand. But we really want to know, Honorable Minister of Justice, how are you going to compensate these victims? We don't want to pass this bill and less than 1 month or 3 months or 5 months or 1 year, we have other victims complaining that we haven't received any money. We did not know how they share this money. Or the ministry themselves trying to enjoy the money of the victims. Mr. Honorable Minister of Justice, you will come here and meet us and we will ask you this. It's for the victims, as you say, it's for the victims of the Gambia. But I want people to know that there will be no government without victims. And I always keep asking, if they say victims of 1994 to 2017, this is the question that always came to my mind. Is it that the moment Jammeh came as a president, he was all along troubling Gambians? He haven't bring any development in this country. My dear, there's no bad man without doing good things. He have good things, he have bad things he did in this country. And in leadership, if you are a leader, certain things will happen in your leadership. Whether you are aware of that or you are not aware of that, it happens in your leadership. That's why people point fingers on him that he was the one who did that. But let you people be aware that even Barrow's government, there are few victims. And there will be no government without victims. You cannot put law, and this law will not be end here. It will continue to your government. Honorable Speaker, thank you so much. I arrest my case.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Fonyi Berefe. Honorable members, let's remember that the debate, the scope for the debate should be based on the general merits and principles of the bill. I now call upon the Honorable Member for Kiang West.
I ask myself a question. People shouting about the reparation today, who made victims cried in this very assembly. It's on record. Who insisted in this very house that victims wouldn't explain their pain and made them wiped seriously in this very house. If you are much more concerned about the victims, before you allocate $10 million for president to go for make the people to earn politics, you would have allocated much more to the victims in 2022 budget session. All those things would have been done. Reparation does not just mean a piece of legislation. You want to have this practice in a piece of legislation, that does not mean you cannot reparate today. There are reparations which does not involve funds, which does not involve any money. Victims are dying. What have you done about them? How many of you sat in your house, visited the victim center and know their condition today? Some of them want to go to the health center, they cannot even reach there. The objective of the bill is clear. Nobody argued that we should not reparate our victims. All of us, one way or the other, were victims. But why the certificate of urgency? This bill needs to go through a rigorous scrutiny. We consult extensively to ensure that we make decisions that are informed by the electors, by the masses of this country. We want to pass a piece of legislation that affects the people of this country whose parents were killed in 2 hours. You say you have concerns for those people?
I know the executive has succeeded in dividing this parliament by bringing such tactics, convening an extraordinary session, abusing the powers of the law, and bringing in certain things which you have interest in, but not basically primarily for this bill. Honorable Speaker, this bill should have gone through the necessary procedures to make consultations extensively, to ensure that we hear from the victims. The drafters of the bill have right to consult, but it's the right of the National Assembly also to do an extensive consultation. That is the part of the parliament. It does not necessarily mean if the executive does a consultation, we cannot also do a consultation. They have a role and we also have a role to play. They have right to draft anything and give it to us. We also have a mandate, a legislative responsibility to ensure that we exhaust all the due process. We do an extensive consultation with all the parties that are affected by legislation. Parliament of the Gambia, I'm surprised that people are moving motions for the piece of legislation, members to debate on it on 3 minutes. That affects lives of the people. People lost their parents. And you say you have concerns about that. On the objects and reasons, you have mentioned about ex-James proceeds. We don't know the total amount of these ex-James proceeds. And thereafter, we have seen an audit report in this very parliament that says there are still some documents which amounting to 22 million Gambian dollars from the ex-James proceeds, which we are not accounted for because evidences were not provided for. You are telling us that? We were allocating funds here. None of you shouted about this. The executive has an interest, but not for the victims. If a parent could, if the head of state could stand and call a victim Modole Fatih Kono, and that was attached to a victim who was being brutalized, was raped, you are calling Modole Fatih Kono. You have a concern about those victims?
Honorable members,
you cannot his people when
thank you very much, Honorable Member for Kiang West. Honorable members, let's remind ourselves once again that the scope of the debate is on the merits and general principles of the bill. The debate should be concentrated on the merits and the general principles of the bill. Please. I now invite the Honorable Member for Combo East.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I have just very little concerns about this bill that led me to not get into its matter of urgency. As a representative of people, I need to be acquainted with the bill to make my necessary consultation as a legislator here in this House. It would be very easy and cheap for me to be standing here raising my tag in favor of this bill to go under urgencies, knowing that the implications and the processes that has gone through this, which were submitted to the executive, and it took them that long to come up with this thing under urgency, with a training to member of parliament to take a decision. It is worrying some, Honorable Speaker, to say you are getting into a reparation and compensation of victims by naming sums of money, sources of monies from outsourcing monies from proceeds of things that are not even clear to this assembly. Honorable Speaker, we have to be here as representatives. We have to be here as legislators. Honorable Speaker, we are dealing with a national issue. It is not an individual, it shouldn't be partisan. I'm not standing here on partisan, I'm standing here on a patriotic ground. I am not a victim and not even close to be a victim, neither the other parties where we are taking our proceeds to compensate. But we need to scrutinize this thing vigorously and understand the merits of this to make sure that we will not fall victims tomorrow. We will be held responsible of our actions anytime, any day. Honorable Speaker, these monies, these proceeds, and the number of victims that are yet to be determined Will we be able to fund them from our budgets? Will we be able to outsource funds to make sure these victims are compensated, to make sure that the committees that are selected are better enough for a reparation? Honorable Speaker, we are trying to address something that we would name never again. And never again needs care and diligence. I'm urging the executive to get into this. I would have wished this thing to go under normal processes. We are not denying this reparation of victims, compensation and reparation, but the bill has to come through Parliament to make sure that we do the due diligence before we make our decisions. This is the House of Representatives. We are representing the whole country, 58 members, sitting over a bill for 3 days, just for a day, business to finish. We said that we have a bill for it. We are not acquainted to it. I'm seeing it to be unfair to me, and if I am to do that, I am being unfair to my people that elected me in. We have victims and people that are accused to be causes of that atrocities. We need to be seeing them. I'm looking at them at the same angle as Gambians. This we have to address properly. This is what led me to go against it on the matter of urgency. I'm surprised that this thing will be brought at this late hour of the year on the matter of urgency only for it to be catered in the budget. How much money is going to be allocated for this? Honorable Speaker, I rest my case. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Kombo East. I now invite the Honorable Member for Basse.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think I have to thank the government of the day for bringing this bill to this Parliament through the Minister of Justice. And this bill is very timely, and it's necessary for it to be here today. As the saying goes, stitches in time saves 9, and I think it is the right time for us to treat this bill. Most of the activities or the conferences or CSOs, international organizations, they talked about reparations, talked about victims, and so on. And yet still the government have not done anything about them. They are giving a cold shoulder to it. And now this bill is here, the government have taken its responsibility to bring this bill here, and people are still saying it is not urgent or it should not be treated in this way. The Minister of Justice have done what he's supposed to do. He have engaged this Parliament on a 3-day scrutiny of this bill. Whatever objection or concerns you have, you are given the opportunity to raise it there. And what time do you also need? 3 days for to look at it.
Observation.
And today this bill is here and people are still asking for time. Honorable Speaker, just look at the objectives and reasons of this bill. People thought that this bill or the reparation is not about people who are injured, killed or whatever. Others are there who are not injured, but they are affected. Some lose their properties, they lose their homes, they lose their businesses, and from those businesses where they have their proceeds to make their livelihoods, they educate their kids. So if those businesses are not existing, how do you expect them to educate their kids or their families or take care of their families? Do you expect them to come and beg you? No. So this bill is talking about those things. And if this bill is not being passed here, so most of the regulations will not be put in place. And you are asking for monies, how it's going to be allocated. And this money is supposed to be allocated by the National Assembly. And if this bill is not enacted here, the budget is not indicated in the budget, how are they going to get these funds? I think let's be justice to ourselves. If you go out there, most of the conferences we attend, international organizations, CSOs, they talk about reparation. Please, let us be justice. And let's forget about our egos. It's brought by this existing government or whatever. We are talking about the existing reparations. Honorable Speaker, I'm appealing to members of this parliament to consider this
over point of order.
As an
Point of order 67, Mr. Speaker. Point of order 67. On a motion being moved that the bill be read a second time, only the general merits and principles may be debated. The Honorable Speaker should not be addressing what and what not members should be doing. He should be addressing the principles and the merits of the bill. Thank you.
Honorable Member. Honorable Member, can you come again? What is the point of order?
67.1. On a motion, only the general merits and principles of the bill may be debated. He shouldn't be telling us what and what not to do. Thank you.
Yeah, I have several times reminded members on the core necessities of what the debate should look like, that it should be more on the merits and the principles of the bill with you. Can you, Honorable Member, continue, please?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And reparation is a process, and I think the process has just started. Because there are so many victims. When they were identified witnesses, I don't know whether there was a selective justice or what, but there are so many ones who are outside there who did not appear at the TRRC, maybe reason best known to them, or maybe they were not called upon. So endorsing this bill or passing this bill will give the opportunity or will open the process so that those ones can be called upon and also to be compensated. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Basse. I now invite the Honorable Member for Fonyi Bintang.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I am happy with this reparation bill. I am truly happy with it. Honorable Speaker, the TRRC, it means Truth, Reconciliation, Reparation Commission. Even said the truth was not established because the only thing that impressed them was when you said Jammeh did it, Jammeh did that. That was the only thing that impressed them. Reconciliation could not also be achieved, but then reparation is a process, as they said. And finally, we are with the Victims' Reparation Bill. Now, from the assets of the former president, some of the sold assets, we requested the Minister of Justice many a times here to provide us with the sales of the former presidents, the list and whatsoever. He could not actually provide us with the full list in a very skeletal report that we were given. So how can we use that to repair it? In fact, what we are talking about is those monies, they told us there, we asked the Minister of Justice, and what the Minister of Justice response was, some of those monies were already used. Some of those monies were embezzled. That is the challenge that we are faced with. Now, going further, this is the only bill, as far as I know, that will capture the name of an individual, single out it as the former president, Yahya AJJ Jammeh. This is the only bill that I have seen that. I wonder whether it's a witch hunt or what are we targeting as a nation. We all knew and understand that the process of governance is a difficult process. And in it, you don't expect perfection, you expect shortcomings in terms of governance. But then, how was the justice established? Whom can we classify as a victim? Look at the Farfenni attack. Those that attacked and butchered innocent Gambians were hailed as heroes. They sat at the TRRC and demonstrated how they kill innocent Gambians. Are their families not victims? Who are the victims that we want here, per se? As a nation, injustice is what brings commotion, anarchy into a nation. We can only have a progressive nation if we are just and honest to ourselves. not crying about who social media support and what they don't support. We should be clear in our consent as much as we speak the truth. Injustice can bring endless commotion into a country. I believe those people also are victims that were attacked at Farfenni. Their families, their condition should also be known by all. And the reparation should reach out to them because these were young, innocent Gambian soldiers that were butchered and killed. People that want to overthrow a legal elected government were held as victims and are praised as victims. Who are the victims that we are shouting for here? Whatever we are to say, we should not cry for the sake of social media. We should cry for the sake of our graves. Even though said the people should be reparated, we agreed. We agreed, entirely agreed. But then who are the victims? Let us pick them out. At one point in time, these bills talk about those that are in exile. Is the former president not in exile? What is said about it? Are we not thinking as a nation? If we are looking at reparation, we should definitely be very careful and know who should be reparated. That is something that is very, very important. The victims range from 1981, but we talk less about that we don't care about. Are they not victims? Can't we go and find them and fetch them out wherever they are? Because the suffering as a victim continues generation after generation. We move further. Victims from 2017 to 2023, today we are. We could fetch them out and know who are the victims that you people have created, that your government have created. And your government also will be accountable today or tomorrow for the victims. We are here. I say this. Your government also will come to an end. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Fonye Bintang. I now invite the Honorable Member for Latrikunda Sabiji.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. I'm so grief-stricken that I want to subject myself to silence, but it's only going to be silence, the silence of assessment. I have never believed when they say politicians lack principle and memory. This is the day I reaffirm and pronounce myself to that statement than before. Look at the mixture of the parliament. For the first time, I have seen the hunter and the hunted, the perpetrator and the victims clapping for the perpetrators, and the perpetrators clapping for the victims, like if we have deleted everything from our memory. That is why I want to be in records. We never say this bill is not progressive. This bill is progressive. In fact, it's one of the progressive bills that has ever come to this National Assembly. But our contention is, why is it urgent? Why do the government want the National Assembly to escalate the urgency of the matter? What is urgent about the bill? Because we have made our consultations public, and victims, they all told us that they were not consulted as far as this bill is concerned. So I want the Attorney General to tell us how consultative was this bill.
Honorable Speaker, point of order.
Where, Kantora?
Yes.
Yes. Maybe
I want member 29 surplus 1. Yes, every member shall restrict his observation on the receivement of discussion. We are here to discuss about the measure and principle, not your consultation with the victims and asking them the minister questions. Yes. No. You have to debate the merit and principle.
He said, what remarks has he made that had made him go out of order?
He was saying he made consultation with the victims
going into discussion what has transpired in that meeting and asking the minister questions. I said restrict your observation on the objects and principles of the bill, not asking the minister question or telling us what you have done prior before coming to assembly. Thank you.
Yeah, I think what the honourable member was saying is that he felt that there was not enough consultations with the victims, and therefore the need for that consultations. Honourable member, can you continue?
That is exactly what I said, Honourable Speaker.
Pardon?
That is exactly what I said.
Go ahead, go ahead.
We all know this bill is progressive. I stated it because it is going to account to all the historical injustices that happened in this country. But my issue is, as earlier and alluded by some honourable members, we cannot make law and the law to be specific. We have to make general laws. There are still victims from 2017 to date. So I would like the National Assembly to create a section in this bill that is going to cater for the right abuses that happened from 2017 to now, so that the law is not going to confine itself to from specific time to specific time. Let's make it a general rule, a general law, because there are still, right abuses happening in this country.
Honourable Speaker, point of order. Order.
Please.
Honourable Speaker, Clause 67, subsection 1, on a motion, that's the second reading, on a motion being moved that a bill read a second time, the general merits and the principle of the bill may be debated. What the honourable member is just suggesting is a substantive, clause of the bill. So I think he reserved that at committee stage so that you can deal with us. Thank you.
Yes, the honourable member is making definitely a substantive amendment to the bill. Remember, this bill is informed by an act of the TRRC that has stated period from this period to this period. And the honourable member is saying that let's look at the bill and extend it from 2017 to date. And all acts are being done by Parliament. So those legal issues and all these things, when we come to the Committee of the Whole House, you can bring your suggestions and the members will decide what next to do. Honourable, can you continue?
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. On final note, I agree this bill will address the victim human rights in this country since 1994 to date. It will also promote national healing and reconciliation, and the bill will also deter future human rights abuses. But my question now is the bill actually going to deter that? Because we've seen the prison thrown onto the mold. People are beaten still. People are murdered. We've seen police officers murdered. Who did not still get justice. Honourable member for Fonyi mentioned Haruna Jatta was murdered. I don't know what are some of the remedies that the government is going to put in place to make sure never again mantra is definitely a mantra that every Gambian believes in, including the executive. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member for Latrikunda Sabiji. I now invite the Honourable nominated member, Maimuna Sise.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I would like to start my intervention by thanking the Gambia government and the minister who is right now presiding over this bill. Honourable Speaker, this bill is more than an urgency. For the past 5 or 7 years, the victims have been crying over their right and the justice they deserve in this country. And we've been hearing so many fouls, regards to not considering, or the government is not considering the victims. I don't understand if we are here today saying that we need an extra time to go through this bill after the government has, or the Minister of Justice has scheduled for 3 days allocation for us to sit and discuss and brainstorm and make it as urgent as this coming session, they can be catered to be considered for 2024 budget. If we have to defer this again, what session are we expecting to consider this bill to be taking effect? Or we have to sit and wait for another 2024 budget for this bill to be coming? Please, my honorable members, let us not polarize everything. When you come to the standard of the country's need, we all have to focus on one direction. Let's allow the victims also enjoy their rights. Let the country start to heal from the atrocities happening in this country. But by keeping this bill for another session or for another period of time, for another consultation, after completely 5 years, there is a commission on this. And still now the consultation can continue. Honorable Speaker, the bills page 14, functions of the commission, set up by TRRC and make a necessary adjustment. Whatever we might think over here can be added to this commission. When the commission is established, whoever have anything to add to that, you are highly welcome. But we cannot strangle this bill again. We have to wait for another necessity after doing anything. And one thing, Honorable Speaker, this country, God never kill anybody again, especially if you happen to be a victim of this country. God never kill anybody. Whoever killed or whoever died in this country is the negligence of the government. If the same government is saying that it's deemed it fit, necessary to make it urgently, to see that the justice being served to the people who need it. How many victims have been dying? We cry anytime they died. We will be seeing so many cry all over the corner. They cannot even exonerate right now. Even they are not victims, if their time is up, God forbid they might die. But because it is interrelated to something else. So let's give a due to the bill, and we all have our consensus. Whatever advice we may have, the victim center still now is here. The law is subjected to an amendment. Whatever we've left out, if it is necessary, we would like to come back here. The minister can bring it back here. We can still now amend it. But we cannot sit in here waiting for them to be waiting continuously till when? There should be a limit for anything. This bill needs to have a due consideration. And I think every Sunday of this National Assembly here, we will all give our blessing. The timing is very matter, and we think it's very necessary right now for the government to take action to make sure that the victims, what they deserve, they have it. We don't want to sit and wait for they themselves, all of them died, while the beneficiaries, they left back to benefit it, even though they are the ones who need it at the most. I thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to submit.
Thank you very much, Honorable Nominated Member Maimouna Sise. I now invite the Honorable Member for Upper Salu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to give my full support to this Victims' Reparation Bill because the urgency is actually now. Honorable Speaker, we have seen on several occasions in this Parliament here, when the victims actually come to us as members of Parliament to seek our support to ensure the bill gets to Parliament. Many of us. So, and I think when the government sees it necessary to make it an urgency, as allowed by our own standing order and the Constitution, I think it's only right that we as members actually support to ensure that this bill gets the necessary approvals in this Parliament here. I mean, going through this bill, Honorable Speaker, you're going to see that most, or if not all of the sections really are real apt. And I think it's important that we work closely to ensure that we pass this bill immediately. Honorable Speaker, this Parliament passed the Appropriation Bill 2022, where we approved $100 million for reparation, particularly for reparation. And in this current budget, which is 2023, we passed about $75 million for reparations. How do you expect the ministry or any other institution to utilize such funds when we as members have not informed them how is this funds going to be utilized? And I think this is really one of the most important things that we have to do today, just to ensure that we have the legal standing or the laws that's going to guide them on how to use this money, among others. Honorable Speaker, looking at the how the commissioners actually are established, I think it really is right in line with what we have done before. Now, the only area that actually have a concern, which actually I have voiced before, was the sources of fund. The sources of fund, for me particularly, I think the Gambia government must take full responsibility to ensure that the sources of funding is really very clear and it must
Who
come
is
from
rising
our
to
own
a point of order? Huh? Kiang West. Yes, Kiang West.
Yes, Order 67-1, second reading. On a motion been moved that a bill be read a second time. The general merits and principles of the bill may be debated. The honourable member is going into a specific clause in the bill, clause by to talk about source of funding, and which is definitely a substantive clause in the bill.
That is, Honourable, you are out of order. Honourable, because you see, the man is looking at the content of the bill, the principles there. And that's what you are supposed to do. Honourable Member, can you continue?
Thank you. Just to move right along, Honourable Speaker, and thank you also for bringing me in order as well. Now, when you look at the principle actually about the sources of funding, what we are talking about here. So what I'm saying is like the Gambia government must take full responsibility. For me, I don't think we should even think about actually waiting for donations to be able to support these victims. No. Let the government actually take full responsibility to ensure that we pay for all these things there. And the other area, Honourable Speaker, which is also about the extra investments, which I think we need to closely look at once we get to the Assembly of the Whole House, was about investment in stocks. I think that one we need to closely look at. So, Honourable Speaker, I think generally the urgency is now. Generally, the way the Commission is set up and also the Secretary is set up, I think is in line with what we have done before. Looking at the National Human Rights Commission, looking at the TRRC itself, and looking at other acts of parliament we have done here. So, and I think generally the way this is set up, I think is in line with what we have done before. So I just want to thank the Minister for bringing it now, and I'm sure the victims actually are watching, and we are really very sure that it's going to get the right things to ensure that this is done. So we want to thank the Minister for bringing this thing, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member for Upper Salum. I now invite the Honourable Member for Talinding Kunja.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. I rise to add my voice to previous speakers with regards to this bill. We do know that in the Transitional Justice Program, this is one of the instruments that are needed, and then it's high time. In fact, it's long overdue that the government come up with something like this. Now, to say that the victims are listening, this is an attempt to peg any reservations against the urgency of the bill, to say that we are against the victims benefiting from it. That is a wrong move, in my opinion. No one is against the reparation, the victims to be reparated, for the issues to be addressed. What we are saying, if it took the government 3 to 4 years to do proper consultation, to do proper analysis and bring up a draft, What should stop Parliament doing the needful? Parliament invested resources in even helping committees with special subject matter specialists, so that Parliament also would do research on some of you are the lawmakers. We have our research department. We have what benchmarking have we done to see what order, because yes, government must do its quota, to even go to do comparisons in other countries, what have they done so that they don't fall in the right track. But should we rely on their studies alone? No. We should also do our own. That's why we have our units, we have our departments. We cannot just swallow this whole line and speaker like that. Something that is just exposed to us just during the weekend. Now, I am sure most honorable members who are saying endorsing here, you've not done any research on your own to be adequately informed as to the merits and the general principles of all these things. You don't have the time. What research have you done to show that this is the way, because other people have followed the same path? So that we brought up something, a document, an act that is there and going to serve all the victims regardless of what. Do I say I firmly understood as people's representative to endorse a law that I even myself do not adequately understand? That is the problem we are talking about here. No one is against it. But do you, between you and your God, can you say for sure you understood this document? Readiness is different. No, this is something. Yes, allow me. This is a rhetorical question. You don't need, but everyone that is listening knows that we don't. So it is important that we do justice to everything that is. Yes, we know it's lawful, but this is very serious. This is correctional measures, and I personally believe that the next stage we are going to is not going to help us to adequately address whatever shortcomings we are going to do. Because it has to be based on informed decisions, proper research being done to delete or add. How can you do that if you don't have, if you have not had the adequate time to look at, scrutinize the documents and know what are the gaps? Those are just mere answers, but I know we don't. So it is important. It is. Don't say yes. Let's be factful here. What is factful here? We all want government to move. We all want this. We have people are dying 5 years. Victims are dying day by day, whether you know it or not. We have a member who is even a victim here. What have you done for them? This should have come a long time ago, not now. Nobody's denying it coming. In last year's budget, not so. What has happened to that fund? How has it been disbursed?
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Member for Talinding. I now invite the Honorable Member for Jara West.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. I also want to thank the President with his entire executive members, particularly the Minister of Justice, for tabling this bill in front of us. Sometimes I see drama in this parliament
Point of order, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, point of order.
Yes, can we hear the point of order?
29(6). The name of the President of the Republic of the Gambia shall not be used to influence the Assembly. He just no, please. He just mentioned the President's name, please. The Speaker.
But has he done that? He has not done that. And And it's not only using it to influence, and he has not even done that. Honorable, can you continue?
Thank you for that ruling, Honorable Speaker. As the member for Fonyi Bintan Karnai said, people are here sometimes just for the social media. You beating the bush like this. What is that in Parliament? You want to tempt yourself with the cameras? Cameras come here every day. We have Facebook MPs. And underneath, if you know what they are...
Point of order. Point of order.
Yes, who is rising to a point of order? Honorable members. Yes,
point of order.
Who? Woolley?
Yes. Honorable Speaker, I rise on the point of order 29, content of speeches. 29. No one is here for any social media. We are here to do our work. Please don't impute that to us. Thank you.
Honorable, I don't think he is imputing something into your statement. He is saying his opinion on issues. That's not imputing something to your statement. Honorable, can you continue?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I know you are a legend. You always rule better. Let me go to my submission proper. By reading the objectives of this bill, if you can allow me. This bill seeks to establish a reparation commission whose responsibility is to review reparation paid out by the TRRC and make necessary adjustments. Who legalized the TRRC? Who? Where? Which institution legalized the TRRC? Where? What was the TRRC doing for all these past years? And who assigned them to do it? And this commission, people are saying there are others who didn't have a chance to go to TRRC, but this commission is coming to address that. There will be a commission, those who don't have the opportunity to face the camera and speak, now they have the chance to benefit from these reparations. I have my family members who didn't even have the chance. They went to TRRC, they are never given opportunity. Now they have the chance to explain and get from this reparation. So, but now we are saying others are not benefiting, others are catered for. The commission is there for everybody. If you feel you are a victim, go and face the commission. They will ask you, know how you became a victim. But sometimes, it's just terrible. The bill seeks to establish a victim fund which shall consist of, among other sources, monies generated from some of the proceeds of sale of Express Njame. I am not saying only that. Let's allocate funds for these people. The minister is coming here. He asked so many questions here. Even myself, victims have been asking me, what are you doing with the victims? How far is the victims bill? So this is in front of us today. We are playing drum. This is very, very urgent. We want them to wait more. We want them to receive their reparations. We want others to go and, heal themselves. We need healing. We need reconciliation in this country. We are family members, the same father and mother. If I suffered, somebody suffering there. So we should go ahead with this so that people can benefit. I know there is nothing that money cannot buy soul, money cannot, buy anything. But then it can comfort them, the rest of their families. So this is long overdue. It is timely. We should give our blessings to this bill. Honorable Speaker, on that note, I submit. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Jara West. I now invite the Honorable Member for Banjul North.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, for the records, I just want to make it clear that I am in full support of the Victims Reparation Bill 2023. But also for the record again, I had some members saying that we had 3 days training on this bill. For me, I think it's just few hours. Because the accuracy of the parliament is very important in terms of information. Honorable Speaker, this bill is very progressive. But notwithstanding, I will also want clarity from the Attorney General, the Minister of Justice, to tell us how inclusive this bill was in terms of consultation. Because we are part of, or one of the few members that had constant engagement with the victims. And also understanding that during the 2023 budget estimate, an amount of $75 million was appropriated by this humble assembly. If the executive was very serious, understanding that it is a concern for the victims to be reparated, why they didn't come with this bill during the first quarter of this year? Why now? So this is indeed a very big concern to all of us as far as the certificate of emergency is concerned attached to this bill. But notwithstanding, be rest assured that I am in full support of this bill. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Banjul North. I now invite the Honorable Member for Central Badibu. He's out. I now invite the Honorable Member for Brikama North and Minority Leader.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the bill before us, the Victims Reparation Bill 2023, is being introduced under certificate of urgency. Under that circumstance that I earlier voted against, simply because if we are expected to do due diligence to the concern of the victims, I believe we should equally give due diligence to this particular document that is going to take care of the concern of the victims. To say down 7 years to 6 years, it is time they should be compensated. Who should be responsible for that? This government that we call the government of the new dispensation. And we anticipate the new dispensation to be proactive dispensation. And to be proactive, there is no room for laziness to do everything at die minute, at last minute. For the purpose of rush, and you rush, you miss. You miss, you fail. That's why I say that this bill should take the normal procedure. Honorable Speaker, earlier on we were served a notification for the fourth session of the ordinary session to become convened starting from 13th of this month. 13th of this month. That's just less than a fortnight. Honorable Speaker, it could be recalled we were in committee session that should have ended just tomorrow. I have valuable agenda in my committee, which is to me very important as matters of public concern. We have to put all that at a halt, simply because something that we should have done 1 year ago we could not do, and we have to put everything at ransom because we failed to act rigorously and do what we're supposed to do. The victims will not be satisfied if consultation is only limited to institutions. Individuals across the country all deserve that consultation, and that was lacking. And that's why we say this bill should not go to the certificate of urgency, but the normal way for that due diligence to be given. The certificate of urgency has not explained the rationale behind the urgency we are just contemplating. And I will not hold brief for anyone. There is nowhere in any of the documents where reasons are advanced that warranted urgency. I cannot hold brief for anyone. Yes, there is no provision that when under certificate of urgency, there should be reason attached. But here at the National Assembly, the onus lies on us to rescind anything that should come under certificate of urgency and regulate. I salute you, those who voted against the certificate of urgency for this bill. The victims are watching. Yes, they are watching us. They know we care for them and we concern their lives and livelihoods. Honorable Speaker, having made that, can I say, Honorable Minister, whether there is any provision or whether there is any room for victim schedule, that's the TRRC, to be part of the bill. Victim schedule to be part of the bill. And the bill is supposed to go beyond the TRRC because new victims will be identified. Whether there should not be a need for supplements to the schedule for the new victims also to be a provision to the bill. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Brikama North and Minority Leader. I now invite the Honorable Member for Fonyi Kansala.
All right, thank you, Honorable Speaker. And I thank the Justice Minister for bringing a bill called Victim Reparation Bill 2023. Honorable Speaker, I believe, in all honesty, this bill is not progressive. My take is clear. The bill has been sanctioned to the period from 1997 to 2017 based on the recommendation of TRRC. Secondly, the bill is also a witch hunt, and it's very clear. You cannot have a progressive bill where names of the former president is mentioned clearly more than 4 times in this particular bill. I'm really serious to talk about victims. If yes, the same government that is bringing this particular bill was the same that we are, bringing up dances that had butchered countrymen in this country, and they were celebrating, and they were drinking the attire and the coffee as if it's a drama game. So we believe if we're really serious to assist, wipe the tears of the victims, it has to be a collective work in making sure the reparation is done as it is ought to. Honorable Speaker, the government should be bold enough. If you are in governance, take what is necessary. You shoulder all things necessary to take the burden of this reparation. This is where you will see the seriousness in which we are calling for. But now it's very clear that they will marry the two, where the government will now be putting on budgets and again taking properties of the former president as a compensation. And we have a president in place. Are we expecting
another victim, or are we expecting another TRRC in which those assets will be sold again and be compensated? Let's think outside the box. I am sorry the way we are seeing this country. And I'm sorry the way we are also putting laws. You put laws to target an individual, target a society, target a cohort. Victims are victims. And we adore, we shed tears with them. A brother has lost his life. Today when you go to Farafenye Barracks, he has been named a particular house in which to recognize his effort. But he was butchered. All his private parts were cut off. Families are denied to be heard. So victim reparation, victim bill. Others who are more heard by the TRRC are more recognized and are more satisfactory, but others who are left and rejected totally. Thanks to this bill, I've seen a part where they will also be included. But the samest part of it is why they rejected to be heard because of a political. It's very clear. You know, for us, let me make it very clear. We are not here to look at faces of people or your smiles or agitation. Therefore, I believe
Mr. Speaker, point of order against 67.
Yeah.
Point of order against 67. Mr. Speaker, I think you should be mindful and direct honorable members to adhere to 67(1) because we are only debating on the merits and the principles. We shouldn't actually go on the objects.
Can you read the order?
On a motion being moved that a bill be read a second time, the general merits and principles of the bill may be debated, and we should stick to the general merits and principles of the bill. Thank you.
Yeah, we should remind ourselves about the general merits and the principles. Now, it now goes to the definition of general merits and the principles. The general merits of the bill. I think most people who debated were talking about the general merits and principles of the bill. Go ahead.
Thank you, Speaker. I think it has been very clear. I will not be giving blessed memories in which issues that are not in line. Honorable Speaker, I still have time. In issues of reparation, it is timely. We accept. But the manner, the methodology, and in which it's been sanctioned, this is what we are against it. And in light of all these elements, we believe that reparation is a necessity. But what are we reparating? On what funds are we to use? So clearly put, we believe that the government should take a stand to make sure they address issues that will favor all, so far reparation is concerned. And there must be checks and balances that we equate who and what went wrong. The silenced victims are also in the line.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Fonyi Kansala. I now
Speaker, my time is taken. I was interrupted by Banjul. I said I was interrupted by Banjul South.
Yes, but it was taken note. It was taken care of.
Okay. I wanted to send a signal on my last contribution, if possible, with your permission.
You want what?
I said I wanted to at least, set the dust settle in my last intervention, if I'm given a little time, with your permission.
20 seconds.
Okay, thank you. On that note, I I believe proper scrutiny should be laid on this. And I'm also putting this to the Justice Minister onto assets that are included on this. Honorable Minister, avail us evidence based on court orders. Really.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Member Fofoni Kansala. I now invite nominated member and Deputy Speaker, Honorable Sidi Eskenjai.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I think we need to set the record straight. Honorable Speaker, it is wrong to say certificate of urgency is not due process. It's a constitutional provision. And all procedures and processes that are needed have been followed by this Parliament. You either in support of the item or against it. And in this case, others choose to support the Victims' Reparation Bill and others against it. We cannot indicate that we are in support of it, but we don't want it to come now because of time. This bill, Honorable Speaker, enjoys a volume of 28 pages only. It can take 30 minutes to read. And the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice and this Assembly organized a whole 3-day session for members to acquaint themselves, clause by clause or word by word. In addition to that, Honorable Speaker, others are claiming for to committee, which is of course less than 0.5% of the entire Assembly. And today, they will enjoy a committee of the whole House. And if we meant business, we had all the opportunity to read within 30 minutes, identify issues. Some of us, I was in town, but I read and identified issues and I raised my concern. And that should be clear. Additionally, Honorable Speaker, this bill have not been lying for 7 good years. This Assembly enacted the TRRC Act by government proposal to look at all violations and to allow everybody who want to have say. And it ended, and they submitted their report in 2021 last quarter. And government had 6 months, meaning up to the middle of 2022, and came up with a white paper. Following the issuance of white paper, government, through the Ministry of Justice and all of us concerned, raised serious issues and concern, and others petition government because they are not given the opportunity to be heard during the TRRC process and the issue of compensation and reparation. There are a lot of commotion, a lot of problems, and only responsible government that needed to come up with this one. I don't see any matter of urgency that is more urgent than this one. We either play the gallery, which is playing double standard, or we support this. And it should be noted that perpetrators who probably turn out to be supporters of victims, that is the essence and the objective of the TRRC.
Speaker, point of order. Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Honorable Speaker, order number 29, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Speaker, content of speech. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Speaker, it is not proper to call honorable members double standard. I think Honorable Deputy Speaker should withdraw that statement. Thank you.
If I had heard him well, he's saying that members should not play double standard.
Those are playing double standard.
No, but even the playing double standard is not honorable. To be honest, no, I am not asking him to withdraw it. Yes, because double standard means you are there and here.
Observations.
And somebody can make that observation.
Honorable, your point of order is out of order. Honorable, can you
observations? Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. And also, the objective of the TRRC as enacted by this Parliament was to allow victims to be heard. And people complained, they wrote to the TRRC to appear, they were not given the opportunity. Others are not listed as victims by the TRRC. And this piece of legislation is intended to address those issues and those loopholes. And therefore, all those who are entitled to reparations, restitution, compensation, or otherwise, have the opportunity to go before this panel. And when you look at the composition of these commission members, and the panel as well, victims, youths, and other people are proposed to be indicated. And therefore, as a country, to also stand here and call other people as perpetrators and they are supporting this bill is uncalled for. That in itself shows that then we are moving as a nation. And that's what is expected of every honorable and dignified member of this country. Therefore, if a perpetrator is here supporting this bill for victim, that means he has repented. That means he has repented, and that means we want to reconcile. That's how forward-looking members of parliament should think. And therefore, if I say that I'm opposing this bill because it was left to lie down for 7 good years, and today now the government has decided to right the wrong and bring it, you should be honest enough to support it and help government and vote for it. I think it is necessary to state that the government of the Gambia, in the leadership of the president, is committed to the issues of victims. And it's our responsibility.
Observation, the 5 minutes is over.
Whatever it takes to pass this law.
It's repeated, yes. The 5 minutes is over. Speaker, observation. The 5 minutes is over.
If you have issues on this bill, you are expected to raise it, committee of the whole house, enhance it to the best interest of the Gambian people.
Honorable members, I heard some people say that the time was up. Is it for members to determine the time or the timekeepers? When your time is up, we expect that your mic should go off. So we cannot just determine and say, put it off.
I hope it's not tampered.
I don't know. That's at least if you otherwise think otherwise, they are efficient. They have been doing their job very well. Whose tag is up? Central Badibu, yes?
Speaker, since in the morning you have been going by time, and we realize that there is mistake in the timing. So it's good for us to flag it. Is it wrong for us to flag it? We have to flag it so that it
how do you determine the mistake?
Yeah, because we are also watching. The man spoke more than 5 minutes.
Now, listen. What I'm saying is, the timekeepers are asked to give each member 5 minutes. If they make a mistake, that's your benefit. But if you flag it, how will I determine that? No. Honorable, let's be honest ourselves. If it happens to you, we will let you go until they cut it off. Honorable member for Jimara.
Central, but we are yet to speak. Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. I want to thank the government of the day through the Minister of Justice for coming up with this timely but most important bill. Honorable Speaker, to me, 1 minus 1 is 0. Certificate of urgency, no certificate of urgency, to me what matters is that the victims have been suffering, they continue to suffer, and this has to come to an end at one point. Honorable Speaker, as I said, these are victims of the TRRC that we are recommended by the TRRC to be compensated and repatriated. When I was listening to some members that wanted, at some point I think people want us to extend the mandate of the TRRC. We need to be very bold enough to state the facts as they are. This particular bill, according to my understanding, is triggered by the violations that were meted on people from 1994 to 2017. So any victim outside that vacuum, outside that fence, is not yet considered a victim unless and until the mandate of the TRRC is extended or we create another Truth and Reconciliation Reparation Commission to look into those issues. So I want members to understand that. Honorable Speaker, the objects and the reasons of the bill are very clear. You know, one process leads to another. Victims were crying, members of the National Assembly were crying because we are part of the society. We are living with victims that we are suffering and they're still suffering, that need some sort of compensation, reparation, and even reconciliation. So, the bill that comes to address these issues, I think some questions were raised here. The reason and objects alone has answered those questions. Because it says, the bill seeks to establish a reparation commission whose responsibility is to review reparation payout by the TRRC and make necessary adjustments. But they will review, receive, evaluate, and process and make determination as to who are going to be the new victims. So this alone answers some of the questions, such as who are the real victims, such as what monies or what amount do we have, the government have, or do we have even the resources to compensate these people. I think we need to allow the process to go and flow. Let us create the bill. Let us create the commission. That commission is going to be responsible to identify who are the victims, to determine what amount given to who and what sort of reparation is given to which victim. These are very simple issues that we can address without, wasting the time of the Assembly. Honorable Speaker, it is important for us to be very mindful of what we say in this Assembly. I always say that. We tend to look back too much. We tend to look at each other. We should be understanding that every individual is not your business. Every individual is responsible and you are entitled to your own opinion. Honorable Speaker, I think my time is up, and member for Badibu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Jimara. I now invite the Honorable Member for Busumbala.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I join colleagues to thank the Honorable Minister of Justice for tabling this bill before this August Assembly. Honorable Speaker, the Victim Reparation Bill is long overdue. every genuine Gambian will support this bill. Honorable Speaker, I personally vote against the urgency of this bill, having brought under the certificate of urgency. I voted against it because I feel that it calls for an extraordinary session. Honorable Speaker, extraordinary sessions always calls for extraordinary funding. And these fundings are sold out by our taxpayers' money. We drove this money from our consolidated fund. We could have used this money to help victims who are dying. Honorable Speaker, just of recent, within my constituency, or in my constituency, one of the victims passed away. She passed away because she was unable to attend to some of the urgent medical needs. Honorable Speaker, we should be mindful of bringing matters under the certificate of urgency when that certificate of urgency is going to attract funds from the consolidated fund. Having said that, Honorable Speaker, I believe the principle and the objective and the principle of the bill is definitely okay, because it definitely went towards addressing the victims' suffering. And we must definitely come together and make sure that the suffering of the victims put to end. Honorable Speaker, the fact that the victims of this country are still suffering, we can hear the principal executive officer of this country making derogative remarks against victims by calling, when we lost our dear mother, Ajanoke Njai, saying one of their members died. Those things are not expected.
Yes. Jimara, please. Yes. I am rising on order 29.1. Order 29.1. Every member shall restrict his or her observation to the subject under observation. Discussion. So, honorable member is bringing something that is not part of this discussion. That is not part of the discussion.
And that is?
That is the issue of Nogonjai and others. No.
I think what the honorable member is doing is giving an example of a victim.
No, he's saying the president said, yes, it was mentioned. No,
he said, can I hear you? Can I hear you?
He mentioned that somebody said, like the president said, one of their members has died.
One of
their member has died.
One of their members?
Yes.
Good. To be honest, I don't understand. The president said one of their members have died.
Yes, that they consider as a victim. You know.
So what is akin to that?
The discussion of the president is outside what we are discussing here. If it has ever happened, that cannot come here.
Yes, you should not use the name of the president to influence the parliament. That's the name. For instance, you should not be saying President Adama Barrow.
you should use the president or the minister or whatever. But what I understand is he is making statements and then making reference to a victim. Honorable member, can you continue?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. What I'm saying is the victim need to be given a proper attention. And one way to do that is to pass this bill. But in order for us to be very much objective, we need to be very much cautious about the way we make pronouncement against these victims. I am saying we oppose under this bill to come under the certificate of urgency, but not the bill itself, because it's progressive. It is going to cater the much needed medical needs for the victims. And having said that, the executive who brought this bill before this parliament should be very much committed not to make remarks that will be detrimental to the well-being of the victims. I gave example. One of the victims dies in my constituency, that is Busumbala constituency. And we had a statement from a chief executive officer that he died, that in Mandinka, ila Maudole father. Such statements are derogative.
Honorable, that in itself is out of order. That in itself is out of order.
It's not out of order, and I rest my case.
Honorable, always remember that we are governed by regulations and laws. It's not whims and caprices where everybody wants to do what you want. I now invite the honorable member for Iliasa constituency.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honorable Speaker, on a serious note, I want to sincerely thank the previous speakers for supporting this bill, them that will ease their pain. So, Honorable Speaker, this is the few remarks so far that I have. So, I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for for Idiasa. I now invite
I first of all thank the executive and the minister and all those who voted for this bill to be treated under the certificate of urgency. Honorable Speaker, Parliament is all about reading and research. I haven't seen anything in this book which is difficult to read and understand even within 24 hours. Honorable Speaker, looking at page 5, reparations, I quote, which includes restitution, satisfaction, compensation, guarantees, and rehabilitations.
The first one there, A alone, restitution, which states a mode of reparation which includes measures to restore a victim or group of victims to a situation close to the one they were before the violation of their human rights occurred. Honorable Speaker, this portion of the bill alone has convinced me enough to support this bill, even to be treated as a matter of urgency. Honorable Speaker, there are other previous speakers who complains about national consultation. Based on research, I am reliably informed that enough consultations were done before this bill is brought into Parliament. If you look at from the 18th to the 28th of May 2022, almost about 58 participants, including CSOs and victims, were called for a national consultation organized by the Minister of Justice. Honorable Speaker, in June 2022, the same Minister of Justice, they also organized a regional consultation for the rural Gambia, whereby consultations were also done in order to capture other victims. After the bill was drafted, Honorable Speaker, a technical review was organized by the minister, and all victim organizations also participated in that review. Honorable Speaker, on the 20th of February 2022, there was an improved version of the bill, which was shared before a national validation and considered. And also, Honorable Speaker, on the 27th to the 29th of October, a retreat was organized for the National Assembly members, which I think that is enough consultations for one to look at this bill and support it before the Parliament. So, Honorable Speaker, on that note, I rest my case.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Nyani. I now invite the Honorable nominated member, Fatou K. Jawara.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honorable Speaker, I stand before this august body today with heavy heart to speak about this bill, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, before putting my submission, I must salute my colleague victim and continue to pray for them, for Allah to admit them in the highest Jannatul Firdaus. These victims die for a worthy cause, and their deaths will always continue to be recognized. Honorable Speaker, having been said that, I am going to go straight to the bill to commend my colleagues who speak before me to treat the bill with a certificate of urgency. Honorable Speaker, those who voted against the bill to be treated under the certificate of urgency, they have no justification. Honorable Speaker, if a toddler or an underage girl or a boy stood against it, I may have said that maybe the person didn't witness what transpired for the past 22 years. But I think we have enough evidence to support the bill. Honorable Speaker, I as a victim, I feel offended when I see an elderly statesman in a funeral crying in the name of victims. I feel offended when I heard an elderly statesman issuing a statement when Nogoy Njai passed away, that this is Nogoy Njai. That's why I was saying this. If it is somebody else, I will not say it. Because I think, that day I think that I also I am in the waiting list to pass away. Honorable Speaker, I think those statements, we should be very mindful of them. Honorable Speaker, as our colleague National Assembly members, the victims are sick and tired. For you or party militants or party leaders to be using them to score political points, we are sick and tired of it. We don't want to go over this victim issue. It caused a lot of trauma to us and our families. Honorable Speaker, the lady in question who just passed away, this lady fight on his heart and sweat with her blood to bring a democratically elected government of the transition government of this government. Honorable Speaker, those who are calling for the government to help this lady or any other victim for a medical support, we cannot do it if the parliament didn't approve so that money can be disposed for urgent issues. But I don't think this lady also should suffer for a medical bill. When she fought her heart and sweat in this last parliamentary election and succeeded in bringing 15 National Assembly members into this parliament through her party, those parliamentarians are in a better position to support her before the government funding came. Honorable Speaker, I am urging the Honorable Minister for Justice to pay a serious attention to this victim and cater for a proper medical attention for the victims who are vulnerable and haven't had any formal education.
Thank you very much, Honorable Nominated Member Fatou K. Jawara. I now invite the Honorable Member for Kiang East.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. May I begin by making certain clarifications. Honorable Speaker, the issue before us, which of course is the Victims' Reparations Bill, from the debates, there seems to be no disagreement as to whether we should pass the bill or not. We all agreed that, yes, this bill is indeed worthy to be tabled. But honorable members, I think we are united in purpose here. We all want to see the passage of this bill. The only difference here is the different routes taken by different groups to attain that. One group believes that it should be brought in an extraordinary session. The other group believes that since ordinary session is only about 10 days away, we should wait until we have ordinary session and then we table this bill. I am one of them. Why we supported
the idea of laying this in the ordinary session are twofold. One is to ensure that the bill goes through serious legislative scrutiny before we pass the bill. And I don't think that is a crime. It is not supposed to be a crime. If some of you think it is a crime, this is legislation. We don't want to legislate and 2 or 3 years down the road, we come back to amend legislation. Legislations must stand the test of time. So it is in the spirit of that, that some of us voted for tabling this in the ordinary session. The second reason is that for me, actually, I cannot speak for everybody, but for me, I don't think the entire extraordinary session for today and tomorrow is even necessary. It constitutes a serious drain on our country's meager resources. And I want to agree with Honorable Member for Busumbala that the monies that is being spent on this ordinary session should have been added to the monies allocated to the victims. To the victims. Honorable Speaker, Gambia is a small country. Every single family is affected either directly or indirectly. So all of us here are victims either directly or indirectly. Some of us are affected directly. Some our family members, our friends, our loved ones have been affected during this period. So it is to our interest, it's everybody's interest that we see the passage of this bill. But of course we support, nobody denies this bill, Honorable Tunkara. Everybody supports it. But as I told you, you are not listening to me. I'm saying that we want to take different routes to attain the same purpose. Absolutely. So, Honorable Speaker, every Gambian is a victim either directly or indirectly, as I have just said. Now, we want to see that victims are receive proper reparation for the ordeal that they have gone through. Of course, unfortunately, some people have died. But I think a proper and a wider consultation would have captured everybody that needs to benefit from these reparations. And I want to ask the Honorable Minister the scope of the consultation during the drafting period, because I'm sure you must have done some consultations. But how was the scope, how large or how extensive was the scope of the consultation? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Kiang East. I now invite the Honorable Member for Sabak Sanjar.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. I also want to join the honorable members to support this bill. Honorable Speaker, some members are questioning the urgency of this bill. And we had some members. At this point, I want to commend all those and salute all those who voted for us to take this as a matter of urgency. Notably, the majority leader and your team, including myself and Honorable Nyani and the Fonyi Nams. I thank you very much for making sure you accept this to be treated as a matter of urgency. I can fully remember it is the same house that calls for the report or for the National Assembly to sit on the matter of that acute kidney disease that killed some children in this country. We called it as an extraordinary session. Today we are calling for a matter of urgency to take care of a bill which will take care of our beloved families, our beloved victims, and people are questioning why should we take it as a matter of urgency. Are we serious as a nation? When shall we move? Honorable Speaker, I will want to refer to the bill itself, page 29. Objects and reasons. This bill seeks to establish a reparation commission whose responsibility is to review reparations paid out by the TRC. It means something has been done already. So they have not been waiting for us to pass this bill, honorable members. Something has been done. So we are trying to set up a committee which will go and review all those works that have been done already, and also to make sure that they will be receiving complaints of those who do not have the opportunity to go to that TRRC. And whatsoever the case may be, they should have been given the opportunity. I don't know why they could not have been given the opportunity to whatsoever the case may be. And that is why it is important, whenever we are setting up commission, let's set up commissions that would not be based on any political movement. We are talking of victims here. Some do not have the opportunity to go there. And you're talking of from 1994 to 2017. I mean, even the first 2 years of this government, people has been victimized. The first 2 years of this government. Yes, we have seen it happen. Jammeh himself, his family was victimized. And up to now, nothing has been done. This is not about Jammeh, no, it's about the victims themselves. This is what we have to understand. We are talking of the victims, and it's very important. And for consistency purpose, we need to be consistent in this parliament. We pass a bill and an act that talks about the Human Rights Commission in this assembly. So we are talking about another commission that will also look at those victims and look at ways of addressing the issues that they have. So I think it's a very progressive bill. I don't see any member who will stand here and say no to this bill. But underneath, if you step out here, we all know what you are going to say. So those honorable members who are here saying this bill, we have to treat it not on the matter of urgency, the same members were those who were going to social media saying the victims should be given something. It's the same. So I have seen a victim clapping for those of you who are saying we should not treat it as a matter of urgency. Instead of you commending the minister, and instead of you clapping for those that have passed this as a matter of urgency, to take care of your needs, you are clapping for those who said no to this. We are having the opportunity to move with the second reading because we took it upon ourselves to say, yes, we have to move ahead. This country have to move. And there is nobody who can sabotage the system. We are moving. If you don't want to move, you stay back. We are going.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Sabak Sanjal. Honorable members, we have come to the end, except for two honorable members who were not in when they were called. And I never wanted to call them, but I just want also realize that when you list your name, you make sure you stay to this
if nature calls you.
But if nature
cannot call you for 1 hour.
If nature's call, we understand it, and then a 2-minute call, a 1-minute call, we also understand it. When you go out, we are aware. And when you come back, we are aware. We know the time. And two, if nature calls you, it doesn't mean we should stop and wait for you. So, no, when you come back, you're gone. No, Honorable. Yes, but why is it in the standing order that you should stop? It's not a debate.
No, it's not a debate, but Honorable Chair.
Honorable, please, sit down. Honorable, sit down. It's not a debate. So, as I said, we have come to the end except for two people who were out at the time they were given the opportunity to talk. And when they were going out, the Speaker was not even aware. And now is the Honorable Member for Fonyi Bondali. Is he around? He's still not around. Oh. And then the Honorable Member for Central Badibu. Central Badibu, we will only give you a chance this time. Next time, when you go out, we give you opportunity. Don't come and quote standing orders for us.
No, I don't. Have I started? Because I want to respond to you.
Honorable, we are not denying that whatever you went for.
Okay.
Take the opportunity and we go ahead.
Honorable Speaker, I don't know whether this is a system of distracting me so that I will not make point. I don't know. Because President...
please take your time and put all your points across.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Minister, for coming up with the Victim Reparation Bill. Honorable Speaker, that we have been always talking about in the Parliament and outside Parliament. Honorable Speaker, I have a long list of victims in my constituency, and time will not permit me to name them, but I believe if we do justice to the bill, they will be more than more happy. And even those in the grave will feel us as we are speaking in the gallery. Honorable Speaker, my concern is about the object and the reason, and that's where I'm going to limit my intervention, because the standing order is very clear about the second reading of the bill. Honorable Speaker, I doubt about the finance. How are we going to get funds to support these victims? To pass the bill is one thing, but the generation of resources to make sure that every victim is catered for, those who appear and those who do not appear, is my concern, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, one of the sources of funding has been mentioned in the objective, sale of ex-President's Jembe's properties. Should we rely on this to say that our victim, I'm speaking language, I say one of. Okay. So Honorable Speaker, my concern, my concern is source of funding. President Jembe's, ex-President Jembe's property, is that appeared and those who are not yet to appear. Honorable Speaker, if you look into the bill, I want to limit myself to the object and the reason. We said other source of funding, donation and grants. The TRRC, we cannot rely as a country on donations and grants. So the sustainability aspect of it need to be really looked at when we reach to the committee stage. And this is where the work will happen. So to pass this today alone, and we are almost, it's getting to 3 o'clock, the timing, that's why we said the bill has to follow a process. And if a bill comes on the certificate of urgency, we must work to finish it. Is it possible for us, can I learn? Is it possible for us?
Point of order.
Justice?
Point of order.
Who is rising to a point of order? Kiang West.
Yes.
Yes.
17F, behaviors of members. While a member is speaking, all members shall be silent and shall not make unseemly interruption. Members are consistently making interruptions, particularly member for Sabah Sanjal is responding to a central body while he is speaking.
Withdraw. That's not correct. Withdraw. Honorable member for Central Body, can you continue?
So, and what I'm saying is, you cannot bamboozle around this reparation bill to say that you will come with certificate of emergency or certificate of urgency. We all need to do that. We need to do work on this. Do you understand? So it's at the committee stage that we need to do thorough work to make sure that the bill is applicable. We don't want the bill to carry dust. So the input of everyone is needed in this bill. So our doubt is it possible to finish within the time frame? If so, we'll prove it at the committee stage. We have no problem with that. But I want to salute the ministry to say that the bill is a bill that most of the Gambian people are waiting for and is in line to reconciliation to see to read that the old wounds are healed. But the concern is the sustainability of it. We need to look into that. I thank everybody for your support. And I also want members to be schooled on the object and the reason, the debate. Let them not deviate.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Central Badibu. Honorable members, let me thank all of you for your contributions. I will now invite the Honorable Minister to respond to issues raised and the wind of the debate.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I think this bill is very popular. It received an overwhelming support. The discussion, other than some of the few questions some members raised for clarification that I took note of, the only other issues that were discussed were mainly centered around two issues. That is the urgency of it. And there are two issues embedded in that urgency, by my understanding. Why the need to call for an extraordinary session when an ordinary session is on the way coming. And the other issue is why the certificate of urgency. Because I tried to distinguish between the two. Because even within an ordinary session, we can do a certificate of urgency. So the two are different. But because this thing has been worked with National Assembly Service for quite a while. And it was through a long consultation we deemed it necessary that we needed an extraordinary session. So it was not just decided by the executive. It was done through a thorough consultation with the National Assembly Service, because the next ordinary session that you say you're going to have in a couple of weeks is usually and traditionally concentrated on the budget, the national budget. And we needed to have these bills to go through. So that is the justification from our side to go for an extraordinary session. And the certificate of urgency being used in the extraordinary session to takes further the issue of the urgency that they needed to go through. And if we leave it to the regular, normal legislative making process, there is no way it can be done within the time frame. And trying to abridge that time, that is why we expended more resources also to take you to a retreat, to make sure that, we go through the bill, all the bills, clause by clause, and then all concerns are taken on board. So, but on that, before I go to the issues raised, I hear a lot of honorable members say, of course, my friend from Central Badibu, who was the last speaker, used bamboozle. I don't know how. But, I hear some of you say it should have come through a normal procedure. This is a normal procedure. It is a constitutionally approved procedure. So I don't understand if we call it abnormal. It is legal. It is provided for. When the need is there, we use it. So if you say it is not normal, I don't understand, because it is provided for, and it is, if we negotiate between the executive and the National Assembly Service and we agree that something is deemed urgent and we implement it, there is nothing abnormal about it. So I disagree with honorable members, with all due respect, that calls it abnormal. It is normal. It is provided for in the Constitution. It is provided for in your standing orders. So there is nothing abnormal about it. Okay, then on some of the key issues that some members raise, even though we will get into the bill in detail shortly, I think Lower Salum, for example, asked about what is the time frame. Yeah, I understand you may probably have missed the retreat. is for 5 years. Okay, and if they are not able to accomplish their job within the 5 years, there may be a possibility of extension. But we will see that clause accordingly when we get into the bill itself. Whether I know the cost of reparation, what is going to be the bill? No, I couldn't know. That would be one of the responsibilities of the commission to establish, because they're going to create a database of victims. So we wouldn't know at this stage, because in fact, they have to come up with an objective criteria of assessing what any of the victims will be entitled to. So that criteria will determine what you will be entitled to in terms of monetary compensation. But of course, I'm happy that quite a number of MPs understood that reparation is beyond monetary compensation. So there are so many other aspects and types of reparation that the Commission will be working on. So we couldn't establish the bill at this stage. And even assuming we know the bill, the reason why we're giving them up to 5 years, probably they will not be able to mobilize all the resources within 1 year and pay one-off. So it may be a rolling activity. If you are entitled to $1 million, just as an example, if they are not able to pay out your whole $1 million in a given year, they can roll it out into 2 or 3 years. So that's why the Commission will have to have an expanded mandate. I saw Lower Badibu. Okay. I'm just going to pick some of the issues that requires my clarification to save time. And I think every other concern, we will be able to deal with them when we get to the consideration speed. I saw somebody asking definition of victim. It is there. We can look at it. Yes, it is time-bound. It is time-specific. But I will leave that debate when we get there. I will give further explanations. I have specific response for Fonye Bintan. And I think, and this is repeated by Fonye Councillor as well. This is with respect to the victims of Farafenni attack. This happened, yes, within the period under consideration, during the time of time being reviewed here. The Farafenni attack victims have not been forgotten. If you go to the government white paper, yes, the TRRC did not treat that subject exhaustively. But if you look at the government white paper, that is one of the grounds where government white paper differed with the TRRC. Like we normally say in public, we have accepted almost all the recommendations of the TRRC. There are few, about 1, 2, probably 3, if more, areas where government either disagreed with TRRC or partially accepted and expanded. That one of those instances was the Farafenni attack. And I will read to you paragraph 427 of the white paper on the TRRC. It says, I quote, the government further notes with dismay that the Commission failed to inquire further into the cold-blooded killing of 6 young soldiers, nor did it make any attempt to establish their victimhood and that of their survivors. It is the government's position that Corporal Sehu Sidibe, Corporal Esa Keta, Private Ibrahim Amane, Staff Sergeant Lamin Baji, Private Bakari Sedi, and Private Ibrahim Bojang died defending the territorial integrity of the Gambia and shall be given due posthumous honors by the Gambia Armed Forces. Their survivors shall equally be classified as victims and shall be eligible to receive reparations. So this is clearly covered, okay, in the government white paper. So it has not been left out. It is adequately covered. So they were not covered at the TRRC, but we took care of it when we were developing the white paper. And well, the the rest of the issues, like I said, probably we look at them in detail when we get to the consideration stage. I thought these ones are pertinent, and I can use this opportunity at this stage just to clarify them. Every other thing, I will leave it to the details. When we get to the consideration stage, we'll deal with them. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that the bill entitled Victims Reparation Bill 2023 be read a second time. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Clerk, may you now read the short title?
Victims Reparations Bill 2023.
Honorable members, I will now resolve the Assembly into a committee of the whole Assembly to consider the bill in detail. On that note, honorable members, the Assembly is now resolved.
Speaker. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker. Speaker. Can we break for prayers? Honorable Speaker. Member for Sabasanya.
Yes, Sabasanya.
Yes, I was suggesting that we break for prayers and lunch, and then before.
I know, we used to sit, you want to knock my head against God. But what we are saying is already gone too. It's almost 3 o'clock. So what we are trying to do is to just put away this bill, go and have lunch, and come for the next one. Yes, we have another bill coming.
I think this has the bigger volume. I think it's better we break here, sharp 3 o'clock, so that we come back and then continue. This voluminous.
Mr. Speaker, I wanted to depart with a suggestion, but my chief whip also called my attention. If we don't have break now, there will be chipping and chipping. I'm going to have individual lunch and come. So you might not have the required numbers on it. That's true. So we can break for...
No, Speaker, I deviate from him. It's better we finish this bill, then we come back, please. Speaker, we have to be clear that other members have already ate, and that's not fair.
Take the floor.
I said, I want us to finish this bill, have break, then we come back for the last one.
Yes, because he took his lunch already. I think we are on the same wavelength. I don't definitely understand that people are so rushed for food at this time, 3 o'clock. I mean. All right, honorable members, then we will hold it here. But when do we come back? My experience with you people, my experience is that even if we say 4, we are going to start 4:15 to 4:30. Majority, what is your suggestion?
1 hour, 4 o'clock.
Huh?
4.
4:45 or 3:30. Minority?
Sharp 4. Sharp 4.
No. Speaker, 3:45, please.
Let's make it 3:30. By the time we reach at 4, everybody will be here. Let's make it 3:30.
I don't agree with the so-called African time. When we say 3:30, it means it's 4 o'clock. When we say 3:30, we should mean 3:30. When we say 4, we should mean 4. But let's assess and know what is most convenient for all of us.
4 o'clock. 4.
It's going to be 3:30 or 4?
4 o'clock. No.
I don't want us to vote on this one. We cannot agree on the time to come back.
I mean, 1 hour is okay.
3:30 ideal?
It's not ideal, Speaker.
what we will...
Honorable Speaker.
Suspend sittings from now until 15:45. 15:45, we start prompt. We have 45 minutes. In between the two, we have 45 minutes to do what we need to do, but we must make sure that 15:45, we are all here to commence business. The House is now suspended.
Finance is becoming an increasingly popular mechanism for poverty alleviation, especially for developing countries around the world. This microfinance service adheres to the principles of Islam as a form of social responsibility. Yona Islamic Microfinance is the Islamic microfinance of choice in the Gambia, trustworthy and reliable. At Yona Islamic Microfinance, we provide savings products, current accounts, financing products in conformity with Islam. In addition, Yona Islamic Microfinance also offers local and international remittances, Takaful Fund, management of Zakat, management of Awqaf, trading and investment, and building of strategic partnerships to bring financial services to the doorstep of the poor with donor projects, madrasas, youth organizations, women groups, and farmer organizations. Make a choice with Yona Islamic Microfinance today. For more information on Yona Islamic Microfinance, call 377-2151 or 9832-151 or visit Yona head office at Tipa Garage, Bakote, or visit any Yona branch located countrywide near you.
Albaka. Yo, nga transfer la sto.
Ya transfer la sto.
Ha, code nyenje.
Okay. Nsila ID soto.
Sa soto. Sorry. Agada.
Bijan bro.
Albaka.
Mbaka.
Bara alla service o tariya.
Bare
ki janna nun kunu bara tariya.
Janno yona forest de bureau. Gambia tonkon na no mbali ya bere. Birim koyna fo katon.
Bari si kodo kino katon ni fo bolong blabe.
56 branches mola sota Gambia ja. Gambia kono ani Gambia bantala bankol. Nko kodo kiya bere. Kodo sifa fo falindiro fo nyaadi lafta memmen na kodi to poto nin kodi maraw. Janno number 1 di nyonta. Andum fana nata anoda enterprise sotale. Wolam nyindi ko domorol fana kol fana be firale de dadi mani domorol di fana beteat. Gambia dawda yalo ngam fa kendol sotale di.
Wo moyo diat.
Apelenta
barka. Ni lafta nyelen kendol e bina.
Yalo bukani na ko la barka ba.
Yalo ndel chosano lo.
Barka.